Alright, last we left our adventurers, they had finally arrived in Icewind Dale. Two of them having hailed from Icewind Dale and living in the town of Brinchander. One of them acting as a guide, her name was Jay, and the other, more of an older sister to Jay, a cleric. They met a ragtag group of adventurers who were helping a caravan get north to Brinchander. Was carrying metal goods that needed to be delivered to the town, and the town was dependent on those goods' survival. On those goods for survival. After which, our guide characters decided to approach the characters who were new to town, and they offered them guidance throughout the frozen wasteland of Icewind Dale. To which, one of the characters, Ferrando, decided to challenge Jay, the guide, to a duel to prove her merits. He gave Jay a hefty welt on her arm, to which Jay responded by throwing a sort of fireball at him, burning him. At which point her merit was proven, and they went back inside. They spent about a 10-day together before setting out to Bremen, after being told that there was a serial killer on the loose, going through the 10 towns and killing people who were involved in the election somehow. Upon arriving, and they found Torga, who the Sefik Caltro, the serial killer, was working for. After a bit of an awkward shopping trip, they purchased a fur of an adult seal. Later, Sefik went on his own to one of the 5 taverns that were in the town, to which the player set up an ambush outside of the tavern. When Sefik left the tavern, a battle ensued. Sefik offered several times throughout the battle for the players for him to surrender, or for the combat to stop in some way. To which the players decided that it wouldn't be a good idea to allow a serial killer, or make a deal with a serial killer. So, Sefik, in response, took his sword made of ice and stabbed it directly through Jay, killing her instantly. Afterwards, the remaining battle ensued. Sefik dropped most of the characters, leaving a lone furbolg named Fendon to defend the rest of his fallen party members. With one final hurl of a ball of fire that he created in his hand, Sefik's body exploded, turning into ice crystals, before drifting off into a pile of ice. After which, they brought Jay's body inside, and he dragged the remaining characters inside of the tavern, where they regained consciousness. Jill, being the first one to wake up, saw the body, ran to it, and wept for moments before dashing outside and leaving herself to her own devices. Upon regaining consciousness, Ferrando asked where Jill was and went out in an attempt to comfort her in some way, shape, or form, while the rest of the characters regained consciousness inside, just waiting, hoping for something to happen. Jill fell asleep, exhausted from all of her crying outside, while Ferrando lit a fire and is now waiting for her to wake up. And that is where we left our party.
After I set up the fire, I get out my whetstone and melt the ice, soak the whetstone, and start sharpening my blade, the snow dulling the sound of the sharpening.
I suppose I'm skulking in a corner somewhere. Just kind of chilling.
I am up against the wall inside, finishing my diary entry.
Does Cornelius know what time it is?
You guys are fairly new to the area. Where the sun doesn't rise, it's fairly hard for you all to keep track of the time. You could assume that it's been around 12 hours since the combat had ended.
Out of character, that doesn't help me.
You would have taken a long rest if that's what you're asking. As far as the time goes, you aren't sure.
Okay, that's mainly what I need to know. Well, no sense in just lingering around here for no reason. Cornelius gets up from the corner that he's been hanging out in, and he leaves the tavern to assess the situation. What does Cornelius see?
He would see Ferrando and Jill in a corner, just out in the snow with a small fire built in front of them.
And
Jillian's
Cornelius...
currently asleep, and Ferrando I'd assume to be awake.
Yes.
Does Cornelius know where Fendon is?
Well, you were in the building with Fendon, so Fendon would have been present in the building with you.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
watching over your body to recover.
I can't actually. I don't know where the fuck I am on the map. So
You were right
I
here.
cannot. Well, I know that, but I can't see anything, so that doesn't help me at all. There's no perspective. Anyways, so I guess I will walk towards Ferrando.
That'd be out the door.
Okay, so I was in. That's why I was like,
Yeah,
there's
you
just
were
a
inside.
corner of this map. Okay. I thought I
No.
was moving closer to the outside of the tavern because I couldn't tell what the fuck was going on.
I'll go ahead and get up and follow him out the door as well.
And I'll kind of just stand over Ferrando.
I don't
Well-
quite understand what the burial procedures would be in these parts.
And it'd be best to ask Jillian, as she was a guide with Jay. She would know, but clearly she's not awake right now.
Yes.
I think we should try and move on with the day. I don't know what to do, but we should move on.
We shan't move on without a guide. Julian is that guide, and as well, I feel a slight bit of responsibility towards her well-being.
Understood. And then I will slowly go over to Jillian, and I will place a hand on her shoulder and kind of try and shake Jillian awake.
How hard does he shake?
Moderately.
Hmm.
Firmly.
Okay. I'll kind of like just peek open my eyes and see both of them kind of surrounding me, and she'll like hastily stand up and kind of take a step back. Why are you still here?
Well, you cried yourself to sleep in what appears to be absolutely frigid, hellish weather, so I set up a fire so you wouldn't freeze to death. You ran out in quite a tiff. Wanted to make sure you didn't do anything reckless.
And I have nowhere else to be, nor if I attempted to leave would I know where I was going. I am a little trapped, so you see.
And I'll come up from behind. Julian, how are your wounds?
They're fine, thank you.
I see.
Well, I did not come here simply to harass you, and I don't want to dwell on problems. I understand that's not how the process works, but I would like to ask for your help in proceeding.
I would venture to say that Gillian can make up her own mind on whether or not she wishes to proceed. I don't know what kind of burial rites are common in these parts, but I'm happy to assist. Well, I will assist.
I shall too assist. I will also offer a token to help her spirit pass.
I don't know why you all care so much anyway. It's your fault she's dead.
Our fault. Last I checked, your friend was willing to incur physical injury in order to go on this little adventure of ours.
I apologize. And Cornelius has a very solemn, kind of distant gaze on his eyes. Whenever Jillian looks directly at him, he kind of averts his gaze off to the side, almost shamedly.
And then after standing there for a few moments, she's just gonna like do a little huff and start walking back towards the inn and as she's walking, just say, "Well, I'm taking Jay back home to be buried. Whether you all come with me or not is your prerogative."
Might I ask where home is?
I can't remember the name of the town that we started in. Can't remember what's it.
Bryn Shander?
Yeah. Bryn Shander, where we came from.
Very well.
Pick up. I see, thank you. Do you require aid carrying her back?
No.
Are you sure you can carry her yourself?
Fendon, it is not your place to be asking those types of questions.
And I'll walk inside and pick up her body and just, kind of like, I'll just do the princess carry. So, and then,
Oh God.
yeah, and then I'll walk back outside and start heading to the edge of town back towards the main road. So,
And Cornelius will silently follow behind.
Is
As
there
refunded.
is the tavern keeper still in this building? Or the
Yeah, yes.
I would like to ask a question. Let's see. Tavern keep. A question, if you have the time.
What is it?
I was under the impression that fishermen were being attacked by a monster in this area. Is that true?
Aye, it is true.
How dire is the situation?
Well, a crew of 5 men lost their lives not even a 10-day ago.
I imagine in a small town like this, 5 is quite a percentage of the population.
It's not the end of the world, but we all knew them.
Alright. Well, I have a responsibility towards the fallen, but I shall return.
As long as somebody can take care of it, I suppose that's okay.
Alright. I hope the bloody ordeals in and out of the tavern come to a stop after last night's mess. Just to say I wish you well. Alright. We shall accompany you to Bryn Shander and give you both, well, both cats, I suppose, of the deal that we had with Flynn. Hardly a consolation, but seems only fair.
Moving her back through the snow is not going to be an easy task.
Should Jillian tire, we simply trade off.
She wishes I could carry her friend. But
That
the
is-
choice is hers.
And Jillian's just not even saying anything as she's walking. So,
Neither is Cornelius. Oh. Thank you. I didn't know if you wanted to move our tokens, Amaya, or if you wanted us to do it.
No, you guys can move them. That's fine.
Okay, okay. What about Jay?
It should be set as a non-generic token, so anybody can control her. Nope, it changed back.
Oops.
No, she's non-generic, and anybody can move her.
I cannot help but click on Cornelius's. There we go.
Also, so this is kind of like traveling. I read somewhere, I don't remember where, one of the actions you can do while you're traveling is forage. And I guess I wanted to try and do that.
Okay, it does slow your group's travel unless you have the feature.
Wait, really? I didn't read that shit.
Yeah, foraging does like slow your group's travel, unless
never
you
mind.
are a wanderer. The wanderer feature allows you to forage without slowing your group's travel.
I am not a wanderer.
I guess while we're on that topic, is there any? Do I see any bushes on this side of the bank?
There's like most plant life here has died. Just due to the sheer cold and the fact that they can't photosynthesize, because there hasn't been sun here in the past 5 years. So there isn't any like bushes on this side of the bank because they can't be maintained by the people essentially.
Gotcha.
oh yeah, and we're moving at half speed because, you know.
Everybody.
Oh, well, yeah, because you're encumbered, right? Alright, so I will forage then, because we're already moving at half speed anyways. Is that going to slow us down even further?
No, it won't slow you down any further.
Alright, then hell yeah, I do want to forage.
Can I help him in
Totally
foraging?
Yeah, go ahead and make a survival check with advantage.
You're proficient in survival, right? Like metagame?
I am not.
Oh, shit. Well, so he can help me without being proficient?
Yes, because we're using raw, not my homebrew rules.
I don't know what that means, Papog. Damn it.
You aren't able to find much on the side of the road. It seems as though most everything is like buried beneath the ice. You just aren't really able to find anything.
And then how does that work? Like for each hour of travel, do I make a roll, or do I just make a roll for the travel, like the whole thing?
You would make a roll for the travel.
Got it. All right. Well,
Yeah, at
unfortunately, I
least-
didn't get anything this time.
Yeah, at least until we get to the town, so.
And as I'm looking with Cornelius, it's a shame plant life does not grow. Even here, it is too forsaken. Will be hard to forage.
Hmm. Well, thank you for that observation, Fendon. I had
You're
also
welcome.
come to a similar conclusion.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Alright, so the road between Bremen and Targos was obliterated. So, you guys are traveling at a slow pace. That means you guys can go 1/8 of a mile per hour. And it is currently, okay, so it's roughly 3 miles.
Wait, did you say 1/8 of a mile per hour?
Yep.
So we can only travel 1 mile in a day.
At this speed, yes.
ooh,
It didn't take us that long to get to. It only took us a half a day from Targos to Bremen.
Yeah, you
That's
guys
because
were
the road
traveling
was
at a
not
normal pace.
And the
And
road
we're-
wasn't obliterated.
Well, the road was gone between Targos and Bremen before.
But not from Targos to Brinchander.
No, not from Targos to Brinchander. Right now we're talking from Bremen to Targos.
Gotcha. Okay.
and we are over encumbered as well. I'm gonna go ahead and catch up to Julian.
I don't know. I just feel like it's good. So with the current speed that we're traveling, it's going to take us 3 days to get to Targos. Or
Well, no, you can travel 1/8 of a mile per hour. You can travel for 8 hours.
yeah, so we travel
Oh yeah,
1 mile.
so yeah, it would take you guys about it would take you guys 3 days to get to Targos.
So
at
it's
your current
taking
pace.
us. So it's taking us 6 times as long when we're only traveling half the speed that when we were going this way.
Yes.
That doesn't make sense. The math doesn't add up. It should only take us twice as long because we're traveling half as fast.
You guys were traveling at 1/4 of a mile per hour before, and it was okay. So the reason why is because we did a direct path last time rather than following the road. But if we follow the road, it takes longer. But before we did a direct path, which is crossing the ice. Like this goes over the ice because this is the river right here. This is river. This is lake. But if we follow the road, assuming you guys are following the road, 2.6 miles. No, 2.2. So it would take you 2 days.
Okay, whatever.
Unless, of course, you want to allow somebody to help you carry the body.
Hope.
I'm going to go ahead and catch up to where Julian's walking.
It's Jillian, by the way.
Jillian. God damn, I'm terrible with names. Jillian, are you sure you do not wish me to assist in carrying your friend? We'll move at a quicker pace and be out of the cold quicker.
If you don't like the cold, then move ahead.
Cold does not bother me, but for the others, there is the concern.
I've been up here my whole life. The cold doesn't bother me.
Which is something I can understand. And with my fur, it protects me from the elements as well to an extent. But for Cornelius and Ferrando, not so much, since they are from the south, even further south than I was.
Yeah.
Irregardless, the choice is yours. If you wish to keep carrying her, then so be it. I shall stop asking. Then I'm just gonna fall behind a little bit.
And I guess while Fendon was talking to Jillian, me and Ferrando would have tagged back a little bit, strike up a conversation with Ferrando. Say, Ferrando, what do you think about all this and how it's developed?
Well, we are without a guide, and as such, we probably would be best going back to Brinchander anyway. I do lament leaving the fishermen to their own devices, but I don't know. It was supposed to be a little bit simpler, I assumed anyway. These are harsh conditions in which these locals live. I thought my training in Waterdeep would prepare me for all of this. How naive was I?
I feel similarly. Perhaps it may be my hubris speaking, but I think I'm not quite sure how to explain this. I am able to see myself from an outside perspective, and I can see a change of heart coming on. I have not resolved my feelings, but this event has significantly impacted me, and I have no idea why.
For once, Cornelius, I think we're in agreement. I spent my entire life wielding a blade. Granted, it was in the context of a gentleman's agreement, but I was good at it. The best. I would slap silly any other noble child. It was easy. I was struck down with one blow, Cornelius. One blow. You were not the only one who had hubris.
Well, thank you for your perspective, friendo. I appreciate it. It's quite unfortunate that I come to you for advisement, and yet I have nothing to offer. Is there anything you'd like to ask of me?
I suppose I'll think on it. I just wonder,
Thank you.
why did the Harpers choose us? With all the experience in that council, that group, why choose two noble adopted children? Makes very little sense.
Well, you know how I feel from before, but I'm also beginning to wonder about that myself. I've found myself second-guessing a lot of my thoughts lately. That's not quite like how I normally am.
Aye. Generally, the Harpers operate with noble intentions and don't rely on underhanded chicanery, yet I can't help but be slightly suspicious. I know that's quite the statement. Sacrilege, maybe, but anyway. Just some thoughts.
Thank you.
We're falling a little bit far behind. We should do our best to catch up.
Agreed.
Right, you guys make it about halfway to Targos before needing to stop for the evening. Travel understandably taking longer than expected.
Fandon, would you do me the favor of setting up the fire?
Yes, I believe I can help with that.
Yes.
And then, is there any wood in the surrounding or tinder that I could use for a fire?
No, there is not.
I'm gonna take a look around, and I do not see any sort of tinder. I could make fire, but it will not last very long, as there's no tinder or wood. It would be almost pointless. And
How long
so-
does fur burn?
Does fur?
Aye, fur.
Not
I know
for
this
very
is-
long.
Hmm.
You burn the fur, and then it gets to the leather, or whatever lies underneath, and then it will just let off an awful stench.
I have a few torches. We can use the shafts as kindling.
As do I.
What have you, Cornelius? You have torches?
I'm looking through my items. I don't think I do. Can I get a sanity check on that, Amaya?
For what?
Like torches, or like I don't appear to have like a sleeping mat or a tent. Like I don't really have anything, is what it looks like.
Whatever you got from your starting character, you might have taken the Dungeoneer's pack other than the Explorer's pack. In which case, you should have 10 torches. Let me look.
I have
Yeah,
20
Yeah,
torches,
that's all I'm asking
so
for.
I have 10.
Oh no, you took the Burglar's pack. That's why.
Yeah. I didn't realize that they didn't come with like standard, like camping shit.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, because it's
built
the
for
burglar's pack.
cities.
I'll
That
And-
makes total sense.
I'll take 5 torches out of my pack and just toss them at Ferrando.
Ferrando or Cornelius?
Ferrando.
Thank you for your contribution, Gillian.
And I will go
And
ahead
then how long will one shaft last? At least the 5 from each of us.
It's like 30
how
seconds.
how thick
kidding.
are the torches each?
So are you
For the
talking
wood
about
shaft.
like using them as like kindling, as like logs? Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about doing?
that's
Yes.
the idea. Yeah.
So basically, how thick are the torch wood?
It's like a medium thickness like tree branch. So let me like get a good like picture, I guess.
I will
Probably
also
an
go ahead
hour.
and give 5 torches as well to the pile.
We shouldn't burn them all at once. Someone should stay awake to consistently feed the fire.
I
should
would
be able to
agree.
do that, at least for the first part of the night.
All right, shifts it is.
If the fire goes out, I can always relight it.
Gillian, given that you are the guide and understandably bereft, I would imagine it would be beneficial for you to sleep through the night without being interrupted.
Works for me. Cold doesn't bother me much anyway. I'll sleep over here. You guys can take the fire.
How many torches do we have approximately that we're going to use? I've given 5.
I don't imagine we'll actually need all 20. Probably around 12 in total, I'd imagine.
I would concur.
5
Mm, but-
torches would burn for about 4 hours. If you guys were burning the wood. However, if you guys are just burning the oil, a torch has a lifespan of 8 hours, I believe.
Right, but it'd have to be big enough to heat a group of people. So I imagine like if we
1 hour. A torch burns for 1 hour.
yeah, so 12 torches ish.
Well, I mean, you could burn the use the torch until it's like, because you could like, I would say like if you like light
You
2
could-
torches and then just stick them up in the snow, that should be good enough until at least the oil on the torch is gone, and then once the torch burns out, then you can actually burn the wood as wood. Make full effectiveness of the torch.
Yeah.
That would work.
And we would probably only go through about 8 torches. Well, no.
Maybe 10.
Yeah, like 10 torches probably.
And then we have to consider that there are 3 of us taking turns staying awake, right? So we're sleeping longer than 8 hours.
Well, not quite. I don't have to sleep for 8 hours.
Oh,
Elf!
cool.
He only has to meditate for 4 hours. Lol.
Yeah.
Hacks.
That's one of the benefits of elves.
All right. Well,
As you guys begin settling down, the wind begins to pick up and snow begins to fall.
Right.
About 5 minutes later, there is a blizzard.
I believe we should get out of this area. What does the area look like? Is it just flat open terrain for the most part?
Pretty much. It's like pretty
How-
much just like flat,
how
like
deep-
expansive terrain.
How deep and compact is the snow?
It's pretty deep snow. The book doesn't specify; it just says deep snow. So I would assume like probably 4 or 5 feet deep.
Okay, how compact is it?
It's a very
Is it-
humid area, so it's pretty compact.
Okay. I'm going to
Like
dig.
effectively solid ice.
I'm going to dig a snow cave.
Okay. Make a
I'll
survival
assist
check.
with
Are you
that.
proficient in survival?
I'm not proficient in survival, no, but I've done this before because I've made ventures out into the wilderness. Not
Oh.
like I've done this not for myself, but for Jay before. Like I've helped Jay do it.
And
It will still be a survival check.
could I assist with her? Since living in the World Spire Mountains, I can know
The
how to
Spine
make
of the World?
igloos. Yes, Spine of the World.
And say I've made a snow cave in real life too. It's not that hard, but
Yeah, I know. I'm saying make a survival check.
And Tyler, you and I wouldn't both have to help, because there's no such thing
Yeah,
as like double
you make a
advantage.
snow cave large enough for all of you. It takes about 3 hours to do so.
Nice.
So you want all of us just roll survival then?
No,
that's
just
good.
him.
Okay.
Ooh, I like raw rules. Also, I'm sorry, Denny. I'll try and get us out of the snow quick so we can get you back into the story. So to clarify, there's not anything Cornelius wants to be doing right now. So that's up to anyone else that wants to roleplay. But Cornelius will take first watch.
I will.
And how many of you have dark vision?
I do.
I do not.
well, and Cornelius can even take a longer watch than normal if only the 3, because I can sleep through the night. Cornelius can take watch for the first 4 hours, then do his 4-hour meditation, and then Ferrando does 2 hours, and Fendon does 2 hours, and then that's 8 hours.
Is there a rule about staying up a certain amount of time incurring exhaustion points, or is it only doing physically strenuous activities like a continued march?
If you're doing a continued march, or if you're up for a period of longer than like 18 hours.
18 hours. Okay, so how much time would have elapsed at this point since our last long rest?
About 20 hours.
Oh shit. Wait, so we all have to roll for exhaustion points? Because we've all been awake this whole time.
Well, you guys are resting currently, so
Doing other
18 hours is like a rough number. Essentially, you have to sleep like once a day.
So I can watch up to 4 hours, because that'll be 24 hours?
I mean, it would still be considered part of your rest, so yes.
yeah,
Because
taking
the way
watches.
that I do resting is when a party begins a rest, it's a party rest. So nobody finishes their rest until the party has completed their rest. So if you're last on watch, you don't complete your rest until after everybody else has rested.
Got it. Okay, that helps me. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like staying awake and incurring exhaustion.
Yeah, no, I use a party rest system. Otherwise, whoever is on last watch gets punished for being on last watch.
Right. All right. First watch.
And I will take second watch. While he's taking first watch, can I go ahead and prepare a ritual spell to store?
What do you mean to store?
To store, you can't store a ritual
Or
spell.
I can't. Okay.
That's
So
too
how does-
metagamey.
Yeah, the only way that you can store spells in advance is with scrolls, which requires magical ink and parchment.
Okay. Gotcha. Never mind then.
Hey, kudos to the creativity. But Amaya, do you want me to roll, what is that, perception?
Yeah, it will be perception. And you have dark vision, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Your perception check will also have disadvantage because it is a blizzard, though. That's good enough. You watch over the burning torches as they burn, just trying to keep the fire alive. When it starts to go out, you add another torch. And nothing eventful happens during your watch.
Alright, cool. I will go and wake up both of them, both Fendon and Ferrando. And I'll say, Fendon, it is your turn to watch. Ferrando, will you do me a favor? I apologize for waking you from your rest.
What is it, Cornelius?
I will be meditating so that I may be refreshed for the next day. I am going to tie a string to myself and hand it to you. In the event of an emergency, I want you to pull on the string so that I may be notified.
Alright. Fine, give me the string.
Do I have to roll to tie the string around myself?
No, you're good.
Okay, cool. It's just like a tripwire, except for me. All right.
Yeah, it's not really there to restrain anybody or anything like that, so you don't need to roll for it.
Cool. I begin my trance.
I will begin my watch.
Okay. As your watch begins, the blizzard sort of fades out, and the winds calm down a bit. And nothing eventful happens on your watch, aside from the blizzard ending.
And who was going next?
Ferrando.
Yep.
That's the last watch.
I'm gonna walk over to Ferrando and nudge him awake. Ferrando, it is your turn to
Fine.
take watch.
Fine.
By the way, you guys should enable your 3D dice and automatically roll them.
I turned that on last time.
And nothing eventful happens on your watch either, Fernando.
Because I didn't see dice roll for you guys, which means you guys don't have it activated.
Alright, I turned it on.
You guys make it through your rest without anything too bad happening.
I re-spool my string.
Alright.
Okay.
Shall we be off?
Yep.
Alright. So we
Upon
each have...
waking up and beginning to move Jay's body, you notice that it's a lot more stiff than it was the night before.
Aww.
And the skin has begun to turn purple from the blood freezing.
Aww.
I know.
Ice crystals are beginning to form over her eyes and around her mouth.
The body's been left out and exposed to the cold. I would assume this is normal in this area to freeze this fast.
It happens.
It is a shame. I am sorry.
Alright, and were you all doing anything on your way to Targos?
Wasn't
Foraging.
doing anything, but
Foraging.
at the start of the day, I'm changing my prepared spells.
Okay.
I will do the same.
Do I need to roleplay my trance, by the way? Because it's like a dreamlike state, or is that something that when it's convenient, you'll be like, oh, you dream about this?
Oh, it just happens, like, essentially you just... It's essentially like a rest. Like, nothing eventful happens during it. It's not like you receive visions or anything like that. You essentially just enter in a state of unconsciousness, as though you're, like, high on mushrooms or something.
Yeah. So the trance I think that you were talking about, that happens later in an elf's life. Like toward the end usually.
Okay, I gotcha.
And
I was
that
reading
is
about
like
that.
visions and stuff, but that usually doesn't, it's not like every
Yeah, it's
time
like-
that you
yeah.
meditate.
It's like when as you start to get older and you start to, like,
You connect with your past lives.
yeah, you start remembering things
Got
that
it.
have happened in your past lives, signaling
From the
that you're,
Feywild. And
yeah,
all that shit.
and that signals
Alright.
that you're coming to the end of this life.
All right.
Good roleplay.
Me try. But yeah, foraging.
I will
Man.
assist again with the foraging.
Can you go ahead and make a
Hell
survival check at advantage for me?
God, this is gonna
Really?
blow. Wait. Fendon, you're a creature of nature. You must be better at finding things than I. Would you not say? I am a city dweller.
As I would as much agree, lives have different paths. If you wish, I could take the lead, but it is your
Yes,
choice.
let me assist you instead.
Very well. Ooh.
So
Oh.
that's advantage. When you help someone, it gives them advantage. So it's a 19.
Woo!
Yep, good save.
Unfortunately, there's still not much to find on these paths. It's like a frozen wasteland.
Damn
Not
it,
a
Amaya.
whole lot of berries or anything like that grow. You do,
We're
however,
not gonna
find
pass
two
a
sprigs of
DC 30.
mistletoe.
Oh!
Mistletoe.
complaining.
I believe I know what these leaves are. Cornelius, do you require mistletoe?
Fendon.
Yes.
No, I do not.
Very well. Then I shall keep it. And you said 3 leaves?
Two sprigs
leaves.
of mistletoe.
That's so pog. I'm sorry I doubted you. Hell yeah.
How much would it weigh approximately?
Like
It's like negligible, so don't even worry about
Is
it.
that a compendium thing?
Mistletoe? No, it's a spell component.
I'm going to
Oh.
go ahead and put them in a pouch I have on my belt. A rare find.
Also,
As I
it's really
muttered myself.
shitty. The humidity in Maine is bad enough that it makes the ink bleed from the page onto like into the paper if I leave the book open.
I totally
Like-
understand that. It is so awful.
Like it makes it look like oil stains, but it's not. It's just the ink being smeared because the book was left open. Like, I'm actually so upset.
Oh wow, the
Because
module
like
book.
the ink, yeah, the module. Like if I leave it open overnight, like this shit happens where the ink begins to bleed into the paper because it's so humid.
Oh, that's fucked.
That I've had that. Yeah, I had that
Oh
happen.
no.
Like this has happened on every page that I've accidentally left open overnight. Like if
Well,
I don't
I'm
close
so
the book,
sorry.
this shit happens and it sucks.
Welcome to humid environments.
Oh
Yeah, no,
man.
fuck that. I'm gonna stay out in Colorado where it's a desert.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that this happened to books if they were left open until like this module because I never
Yeah.
left Perfect Fraud open.
Yeah,
But
for
I've
some
left this one open and this shit happens.
for some reason the ink, the water gets into the ink and it bleeds almost. It's a weird process.
Yeah, and because the paper is like a laminated paper, it gets trapped between like the two very thin sheets of plastic and just bleeds in everywhere. It fucking sucks.
Oh, by the
That
way,
does
hey
suck.
Tyler, I found out. Sprig of Mistletoe is adventuring gear, so next time you can click and drag. I love that feature.
Is it really?
Yeah. I got curious, so I went and looked.
I'm pretty sure it's a spell focus for druids.
well,
It is.
It can be either
It
spell
is.
focus for druids, or it can also be like
It's a component
yeah,
for
component for certain spells.
Yeah.
Good berry, good berry, good berry.
Yeah.
No one knows about Goodberry.
We all know about Goodberry here.
Crippling depression.
It's a very
Home of
useful
the
spell.
Goodberry. Home of the Goodberry. Can I take your order?
But as far as the traveling goes, besides helping Fendon forage and making small side chat about mistletoe, there's not really a whole lot else that Cornelius wants to be doing right now. So whatever
Yeah,
else
I
wants to.
Just want to get to Targos.
I'm just gonna go ahead and observe all of our surroundings as we watch, keeping my eyes open for any sort of animals or else.
As you guys are traveling, you guys do see a large figure like fly over you, and you hear like almost. It feels as though like you were standing underneath a heavy industrial fan as it flies over you.
Do I recognize anything about it?
Make a nature check.
I also want to take a really good look at it just to see like whatever I can gather from it, because I'm not proficient in nature. So it's just like I want to focus on it.
Yeah, and I am proficient in nature, sadly.
Oh wow.
Is it a
That's
perception check?
No, it's nature.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, well, shit, I'll roll nature.
Rip Rennies.
Brando, are you proficient in nature?
Yes, I am.
I am not. No.
Okay, so in that case, for you, it would still just be the 11.
Too many Fs. It's okay.
Agreed.
You guys aren't able to discern what the creature is, but it looks to be in the shape of a dragon. A very, very large dragon. But you aren't able to discern the color or anything else from it.
What direction was it going in?
It was going towards the Sea of Moving Ice.
Oh god.
So Mare Dul done. Oh no.
Uh,
Okay, I see it. Okay, yes.
So as I catch the most minuscule glimpse of it, I'm just going to wonder to myself if it was a large eagle or if it was something more deadly, like a serpent.
I'm going to go put my hand on Frendo's shoulder and kind of at like a normal volume level say, was that a dragon?
I didn't get a good look at it, but it's an ill omen indeed. We should be on our way and be quick about it.
Do I know of any, from the books I've read, has there ever been dragons that lived up here?
Yes, the Tin Towners refer to her as the White Worm.
Oh,
It's
boy.
a dragon. It's a white dragon that lives on top of the Redhead Glacier.
On top of the what?
The Redhead Glacier.
The fuck is that?
You go
It's
to the far right of
Redhead
the map.
Glacier.
Oh god, there we go. Sorry, I'm zoomed in.
It's this giant glacier that grows inch by inch every single year.
Man, I miss glaciers. You know that?
It's a constantly growing glacier.
Okay. I'll just pass that information on to the other people.
Well, I guess it was a dragon then. What do you think of that, Frendo?
I think we shouldn't piss off a great worm.
Would I know anything about it with my researcher tab?
Well, now that you know what it is that
Now that the information has been relayed by Jillian.
got it? You're getting closer. I'm proud of you.
Go ahead and make a history check for me with advantage.
Check.
Wow.
So you would know that the only dragon that you've heard of that lives in the north, it would either have to be the ancient white worm known as a Beatrice, or one of her kin. You would know of Arveatrice just from stories that have been told about her. She has a respectable relationship with Waterdeep due to one of the nobles spending a 10-day with her, just talking about general life, essentially, while trapped in her cave.
How do you spell the name by chance? Thank you.
Actually, no, that's incorrect.
Oh.
There's more A's than that.
Arveatrice. Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
Beatrice.
So I'm going to go ahead and, since I have an inkling of the information, relay to the rest of the party. If it is a dragon, it could be the ancient white worm of the north. An ancient worm. This is troubling indeed.
How far till Targos?
We'll get there by the end of the day.
I doubt the worm has any interest in us.
If it did, we would be dead by now.
Yes, and have nothing to offer it.
We should keep going before another blizzard kicks up.
Agreed.
Yeah, Cornelius has just been walking, so.
All right, at the end of the day, you guys arrive in Targos.
Hell yeah.
And I assume you guys will be staying the night here.
Yep, but
Please.
before we go to bed, are there any shops open?
Ooh. Yeah.
Let me pull up the page for Targos yet. Just...
That is an excellent question. Thank you, Stephen. Out of character.
Ooh, Horror Town.
I think I may have accidentally zoomed in. Nope, my roll 20 just locked up. I need to refresh. And now my music is broken.
Gotta love roll 20.
It was working for me.
Yeah, mine just kicked out.
It should be working again now.
Yeah.
Do you think they can't hear that? Because they definitely can hear that. So you said a shop that might be open? Correct?
Yes.
Right, so the only shop in town is Triglio.
Ooh, what's that?
Yeah, what kind of shop is that?
Oh my
It's just a
god,
general
she's
store.
huge.
Okay.
Give me 1 second to just like decrease your character sizes.
Weapons and armory.
So that's what's open is the general store, but what types of stores are here? And I'm gonna take notes, because...
There is only that store,
But yeah,
aside from the inn and tavern.
before we retire, I just want to go to the general store and buy a sled.
A sled. Okay. What's the
And what's the name of the general store?
It's Triglio.
Sure.
And don't I know all the information because I'm from here? Babe.
The information I sent you.
No, for the town.
You talking like locations and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a second, Stephen. It is not easy to move everything at once. So impatient.
Not impatient.
That's impatient.
It's okay, we can all settle down.
So you said it was the Triglio was the store?
Triglio, yes.
And I imagine that before going to the store, were we told about the thing, or do we have the map marked? Like, how does it work for us?
Well, assuming you guys are following Jill, then you guys would
That's what I
have
was
like the
doing.
information of where it is.
Okay. I was just wondering if I should like ignore the rest of the town, because I imagine Jillian would have to relay things.
Alright, and you're looking for just like a general sled, right?
Mm-hmm. One that I can like pull behind me.
You walk in and are greeted by...
Wait, I'm greeted?
What do you mean you're greeted? Yeah, you're walking into a store.
Okay.
How dare you assume they have terrible customer service?
I think he's just referring to.
Amaya knows what I was referring to.
I know, it's just funny.
I don't actually. What were you referring to?
Are you fucking
I
kidding me?
actually have no idea.
Oof.
Oh, now I know.
Yay! She figured it out.
Either way, though, yes, you are greeted by Justin Hunray, who is a human who you've had some interactions with in the past. He greets you and he says, "Where's Jay?"
None of your concern.
He kind of like peers over to try to like look outside the shop. Well, what can I do for you?
Do I see a sled like on the wall or anything?
It's not on the wall. Like, these are wooden sleds. They aren't like cheap plastic ones that were made. Like, they're gonna be outside.
Oh.
Does the
Wait,
general store have
so
a
I
list
saw-
of goods?
So I saw sleds outside.
Yes.
Oh. I don't know, I'll just say I'll take one of the sleds.
Be 50 gold pieces.
Never mind, and I'll walk out.
Well, how much do you
So-
have?
Nope, never mind. And I flip him off as I leave.
Suit yourself.
Well, that seemed to go as planned.
Was I witness to that entire scene? Like, did I also walk into the store behind Jillian?
If you wanted to. Then you would have been witness to it if you were.
Ideally.
Same.
But yeah, you were witness to it.
Oh, I see my token on the map now. I'm so sorry. I guess I'll approach the shopkeep.
An adventure. What can I do for you?
Yes. My name is Cornelius. I've not had the pleasure.
My name is Justin. Justin Henry.
Justin, it's a pleasure. Tell me, Justin, as I'm sure you can guess, I'm not from around these parts. Do you sell goods that help people survive out in the cold?
I sell everything short of boats and fishing supplies.
Understood. For a small time when I arrived in these lands, I had a guide. I still kind of do, but I cannot seek advisement from them. What is needed to survive out in the harshness of the wilderness?
Well, honestly, I'd say that if you're caught out in the wilderness, you're going to end up dying. However, the Wreckhead tribes have managed to do it, I suppose. As far as I know, you would just need warm clothing, and I suppose something to keep you off the ground, away from the snow.
Understood. And do you sell these types of equipment?
I can sell you a tent. As long as you lay something on the floor, it should be fine. I assume that you have a bedrolls or skins or something of that sort.
Fortunately, I am not so lucky, hence I seek your help. I did not come here very prepared.
So interesting. What exactly are you looking for then?
Things that will make it so even if I get caught out in the wilderness and I will most likely die, they will give me a slight chance of not most likely dying. And I do not know the first thing about cold weather survival. Justin, I need your help.
So are you speaking of torches, bedrolls? I'm still not sure exactly what it is you need. You need to be specific with me.
I cannot be specific. I have nothing. I have general equipment, but I had to take a small rest in between towns. Had it not been for a snow cave we were able to devise, I would have froze to death.
A snow cave is a good thing to have. Well, I can sell you a tent for 2 gold pieces.
Okay, and what else?
I
would
can sell
need
you
for that?
torches for 1 copper piece each. They aren't wooden torches, as well, we lack the wood, but they live. At least they survive.
Wait, what the fuck are they made out of then? Out of character.
They're made out of like bone. So, and then
Oh god.
wrapped along the top are the oil-soaked cloths.
Got it. And help me understand the concept of a tent. It's a tent. I get that. He's talking about something to separate me from the ground, so it's not like a cot, like a small camping cot, right? It's
No,
just a
he's
tent. I
talking like a
understand that
tent
different.
where like it essentially just like adds a layer between you and the snow.
Okay, so with just a tent, I would be okay. I wouldn't need to get like anything else.
No, you'd be fine with a tent and a bedroll. Like those 2 things would make you okay.
Okay,
In terms of, not freezing to death.
right. So then, Justin, I believe I'll be taking a tent. Do you have a bedroll for me?
I believe I do. A bedroll is going to put you back 1 gold piece.
Understood. And how about some warm clothes? Because
It looks like the clothes that you have are warm enough, but
Okay, so Jay did get those clothes for me. Sorry, I'm out of character.
well, you guys actually start the campaign with cold weather clothing, so
Got it. Okay, so I have warm clothes. Yes, and then 10 torches.
right. So that's going to set you back 3 gold and 10 copper pieces, or 1 silver, whichever one you fancy.
I will pay you what is owed, and I hand over 3 gold and 10 copper pieces. Justin, thank you for your advisement. I know that these questions are seemingly trivial and annoying to you, but trust me, you might save my life.
Whatever you need. I also recommend some rope. I assume that you're traveling with the big one back there. Maybe a few others. If you
Oh,
were caught
yes.
in a blizzard, it would be wise to tie yourselves together so you don't get lost or separated from each other.
I do have a rope. Would you advise a second rope specifically for that purpose?
Ropes.
As long as the rope you have works.
Okay. Thank you for the advice. And I turn away and look at Fendon. Can I ask, well, is there anything you wanted to buy, Fendon?
As a matter of fact, I believe so.
All right. And
Something-
I'll go stand near the door.
And then I'm going to approach Justin. Justin, I believe, is what you were called, correct?
It's Justin, correct.
Would you by chance have a hooded lantern with several pints of oil?
I do sell hooded lanterns, as well as oil. It's
May I
whale
ask-
oil, so it might stink a bit, but that's all we have up here.
The stench is nothing I'm not used to. May I ask how much for the oil in the lantern?
Let me find the prices really quick. hooded lantern is going to put you back 5 gold pieces.
Okay.
And then a pint of oil is going to put you back. Oh,
I would like to buy 4 pints of oil if you have them.
oil is going to be 1 silver piece per flask.
I will take 4 pints worth of oil or flasks then.
Alright, so that's going to put you back 4 silver pieces and 5 gold pieces.
It's updated. And I'm going to hand him all the money. You do not have fishing gear, as I believe you told my compatriot.
I don't sell fishing or sailing supplies.
May I ask who would sell them then?
Typically specialty crafters and merchants. You can usually find them by the docks. I can sell you fishing poles, but that's about all that I can supply you with.
How much would a fishing pole cost?
A fishing pole with tackle is going to put you back 1 gold piece.
Very well. I shall take a fishing pole. And then I'm going to hand him a gold piece.
Alright, pleasure doing business.
Thank you,
Adventurers such
Justin.
as yourselves breathe life into this town.
Thank you,
who
Justin.
is your group traveling with by chance? Once traveling with the witch, are you?
The witch?
The
I do
woman
not.
who was here earlier.
I'm gonna, like, look at Justin from where I'm standing by the door frame and kind of just raise an eyebrow at him.
Do you mean the halfling? The small one?
The witch, yes.
That's a hell of a thing to call somebody. On what grounds do you call her a witch?
Oh, you're in here too? Oh, shit.
Kissed by the Frost Maiden, that one is. Has been since she was a child.
I'm going to go ahead and turn my head towards Cornelius and Ferrando and just wide-eyed stare at them. This we have no idea about.
She had to make a snow cave. Someone kissed by the Frost Maiden wouldn't need to do that.
Likely she made it for you, Plots.
Yeah, Frendo, not to step out of line, but I do believe that was exclusively for us. As I did not even have a tent. Oh,
I can
gods.
concur with that reasoning.
She tries to act nice, but watch your backs. Who knows what she's been up to.
Thank you, Justin, for relaying this troubling information to us. Then I'm going to turn and ask Cornelius, when you were shaking her awake, or who was it that shook him awake? Was it Cornelius?
Yeah, it was me.
Did she feel cold by chance?
Maya, help me.
She felt like normal body temperature.
If you're asking if she's some type of creature, no. She appears to be a regular halfling, at least as far as I can tell.
She has said
Interesting.
consistently that she can handle the cold just fine. Perhaps this was more than just boastful behavior or rhetoric.
Interesting. This is something we shall consider and talk about. Thank you, Justin. And I'm going to go ahead and head out the shop.
Shopkeep.
What can I help you with?
This term I've heard before, being kissed by the Frost Maiden, seems to be used derogatory. Why is it bad to be able to endure the cold winters? What is wrong with being kissed by the Frost Maiden?
Seeming how she is responsible for all of this, it has to speak something of their merit, doesn't it?
And we know the Frost Maiden is responsible for this rhyme.
At least as far as I'm concerned.
Fair enough. Alright.
We've seen her fly up in the sky and make these lights that we see every night.
And when you say see her, do you all have a telescope? Some sort of
No, we see a
contraption?
shadow in the sky.
Well,
Oh God.
we just passed a dragon flying overhead. You don't think it could be a great worm?
The white worm and Oriole look to be two different things. You'll understand if you ever see her in the shadow of the moonlights.
My apologies for getting defensive, Justin. I'll keep an
It is
eye
what it
peeled.
is.
Yeah, be well.
So, Amaya, this is about to get real stupid. I would like to look around for a unique item. I don't have anything in mind. Just something that is out of place for a general store.
Righty, let me pull up a random roll table for that, and then go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Would it be investigation or just a flat roll?
It would just be a perception check. Because you're just looking for something in general, you aren't necessarily investigating something.
Got it. Nice. What did I find?
Let me find the trinkets really quick.
Oh boy.
10 out of 10.
Oh, it's a D100, I apologize.
Oh fuck. Alright, hold on. And then somehow translate a 20 into whatever the hell that is.
You see an old wooden-handled ice pick stained with blood.
Oh god. Is that the only thing I see?
Yeah, that would be it. The only thing that, like, stands out.
I approach it and pick it up. Like, is it just in a bin? Like, what? Any context?
It's like on a wall, like, in between, like, two hooks, just hanging on the wall.
I'm gonna kind of walk up to where it's hanging from the wall, and I'm gonna turn towards Justin, and I'm gonna say, Justin, this pick on the wall, is that blood?
Yes, an adventure brought that to me about 6 months ago. Seemingly the blood won't wash off, no matter how hard I scrub it.
And pardon my ignorance, but this type of tool, what is it used for?
Well, it can be used from anything to killing seals, climbing ice, or just keeping your bearings about yourself. Often if somebody falls into the ice, they'll use a pick to drag themselves back on top of it.
That does sound useful. Was this donated to you, or did you buy it from the adventurer?
I bought it.
What price would you ask of it?
One second.
This is some spooky shit. I don't know if I should be trying to buy this.
What could go wrong?
It's only cursed with the soul of the last person who used it.
No. Well, unless they're really good at surviving in the cold, because then maybe I might live.
It'll be two
Bloody
gold
ice pick?
pieces.
Alright. Does Cornelius know how much an ice pick would normally cost?
No idea. You are from, like, the warmness of the Sword Coast.
Okay.
You would know that that's about the same price that, like, they charge for a miner's pick.
Alright. I want that information. Justin, would you be willing to part ways with it?
I suppose so. I bought it with the intention to resell it.
Ha. Forgive me. I do not know how these types of things work. Never mind the comment. I will gladly pay you 2 gold for this.
Sounds good to me. It's yours.
Alright, and then, is there something I can search up in the compendium to click and drag?
Pick. Miner's pick. Should pull up.
Nice. And is there anything actually special about it? Besides there's blood on it that won't wash off?
Nope, that's it.
I mean, it's still useful to have. Cool. So
yeah,
then
so it would
that's
be a miner's pick, and it will weigh
apparently
5
10
pounds less. So
Oh shit!
ice
Oh,
picks
that's
weigh
cool.
5 pounds less. Because
Oh.
their heads are like they don't need to be nearly as heavy. They're breaking ice, not stone.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you, Justin. And I will again head towards the door frame. Well, rather just the door, but off to the side.
No problem. Did you need anything else? So was this it?
I'm gonna go ahead and walk back inside. Actually, I do have a question. I'm gonna walk up close to him. Is there any healers in this town by chance? Or anyone with magical knowledge of creatures?
Killers are knowledge of creatures. I'm not sure. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Anything specific?
Ooh.
What do you mean?
Any specific d20 or just a flat d20?
Just a flat d20.
Oh.
Okay, now go ahead and roll a d4.
Ooh.
But there is not one in this town.
Oh.
Very well. Thank you very much. And then I just head back outside.
So having seen Fendon finish his interaction, Ferrando, where are you at in the shop?
I'm by the doorway thinking on the information we just got.
Okay. I suppose I'll turn towards both of you now, because Fendon, I'm assuming you're walking back towards the door. Shall
Yes.
we be off?
I suppose. Fendon, do you recall
Yes.
how to build an ice cave similar to last night, should things go awry?
If not to the extent I do know how to build an ice igloo, as I have been in the north for a while. Although it would take longer to build since there are many of us now, instead of just one.
Can I do a perception check to see if Jillian is in the area?
Jillian, are you in the area still?
I mean, I'm not like right outside the door. I'm waiting for them across the street, like outside the building.
Yeah, you wouldn't even need to make a check. You would just see her.
I turn my face away from the door so lips can't be read. Kissed by the Frost Maiden, in my little diatribe about the Frost Maiden and the rhyme. But I'm curious. If Jillian is indeed kissed by the Frost Maiden, why do combat with Sefik? Why seek us out? Why go on a journey with us after my proclamation of wanting to undo the Frost Maiden?
Well, perhaps it's something that's not a choice. Perhaps it is simply given, and those that receive said gifts, whether it be their will or not, simply proceed to have a normal life beyond it.
Or there is some ulterior motive behind everything. I do not sense anything amiss with her.
I do not have magical sensing, but she seems to be a good character. I have no concerns personally. I understand your caution, though, friendo, and I will stay alert on your behalf.
I would assume we shall keep this secret then, and not confront her until the time is needed to.
Let us help her with the burial of Jay, and perhaps it would be prudent to part ways after that. I don't know. We'll see in the time coming.
Very well. I just remembered one more thing, and then I'm going to turn back around to Justin. Justin, you wouldn't by chance have a small piece of wood that could be used for carving, would you? say, a small totem.
Wood isn't very common in these parts.
Do you have maybe bone then? Or something that I could carve a figurine out of?
Something made of bone. I mean, I can sell you some knucklehead trout bones if that's what you'd like.
Totally forgot to add the torches to my character sheet.
I could
I
take
forgot
that.
this.
And if you have an iron pot, I'll take that as well.
An iron
Things slip my
Pots.
mind.
Unfortunately, I only sell them as a set.
As a cooking set,
Correct.
may I ask how much? For all of it?
Well, a set of cooking supplies is going to cost... I believe it's 5 gold pieces. Let me check.
Iron pots are also an item.
Yeah, on the adventuring gear, they're just an individual item.
He only
Nobody.
sells them in a group, though. It's 1 gold piece.
1 gold piece. And how much for the trout bones?
For one of the spinal bones, they're fairly thick and sturdy. I'll charge you 5 copper pieces. No, 2 copper.
Very well. So, two gold and 2 copper.
I'm sorry for my lapse in concentration. Did Tyler, did you end up buying the cooking set?
Yes, I bought the cooking set and some trout bones.
I
Do you
think this is
already
what I
have
was
one?
saying. Sorry, it took me a second to think. I'll approach Fendon. Fendon, do you know how to cook?
I've acquired some skill in my long journey.
Well, seeing as how I'm trying to make myself more useful out in these frozen lands, is it something you'd be willing to teach me?
If you're willing to learn, then yes, I will teach you.
Justin, I know. Make up your mind already. You're letting the cold in. I know. May I also buy a cooking set?
1 gold piece.
How much
Understood.
does a cooking set weigh by chance?
I'm gonna
Cook's
import it from the
utensils
compendium.
weigh 8 pounds.
Oh, so it's in a compendium of cooking utensils.
Yeah, for any item, I search the compendium.
What's that? Yeah, it will be in the compendium if you search cook's utensils.
It says I'm over carrying capacity. Isn't it your strength score times 15?
Yeah.
It automatically multiplies it for you.
What's your strength score? And how much weight do you have that you're carrying?
His strength score is
Oh.
8.
Yeah, let
Oh.
me do some math real quick. Am I
Oh
recorded?
god, that's
Oh.
120, isn't it?
Oh, I thought it was 140. I'm minorly retarded.
I only know that without doing math because that's my strength score in the other campaign.
And then the bones, I would assume they weigh like roughly about a pound or so.
It's only like the spinal bone, so it would weigh like a quarter of a pound.
Okay, and the fishing rod by itself.
Fishing tackle weighs. It should be on roll 20. If you dragged it onto your sheet, I should have put it on there.
Fishing tackle.
There's
Okay,
not
because
a whole lot of places where I can drop weight. Damn it.
If you just search tackle, it pops up as fishing tackle.
okay, I got it. I just didn't know if you just since it was just a rod. So okay, I got
No,
that.
he sells the tackle too. He just doesn't sell like sailing, like fishing supplies for sailing. So like nets, sails, boats, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. All right, well that will work then. Quarter of a pound.
I'm gonna approach Fendon, and I'm gonna be very visibly encumbered, trying to carry everything because I've got my cook's utensils, I assume, strapped onto my backpack, and it just looks like it's way too much. Fendon, I hate to be a bother, and I know this won't be of use to you, but may you do me a favor? Is there any way you can carry this tent on my behalf? Perhaps I could buy the next couple of meals for you. It's just simply far too much for me to carry. I overestimated my abilities.
Yes. Yes, small one, I can indeed carry your tent.
Thank you very much. So I kind of just slap my backpack down on the floor, and I unstrap the tent, and I just kind of kick it over to Fendon.
Boom. Tent at.
Oh, thank God.
And I'm going to go ahead and attach it to my ever-growing large bag. If you need me to carry anything else, as for you, Ferrando, I can be of use.
I currently am not encumbered, but I appreciate the offer.
Very well, if we have concluded our business, I believe we shall take our leave then.
Indeed.
I believe we finally have, although on the off chance. Justin, for now, this is not farewell. I hope I do not see you again, though, and I hope you do not take that the wrong way. I hope to be out of your hair for now.
Well, I always appreciate return business, so don't stay away too long.
Understood. Thank you for your generosity.
Shall we
Not
take
a
our leave
problem.
then?
Indeed. Let us go. Off to Brinchander.
Out of character, can one of y'all that are more proficient with Roll20 help me? I dragged the cooking utensils onto my sheet, but it's not in my tool proficiencies and custom skills. I know it's
Because
I'm
you
not
aren't proficient.
So how would I roll to use it then?
It would just be the straight check based off of the skill that I tell you to use.
Got it. Understood.
That will
So if I
work.
tell you to make a dex check to cook, then you would roll dex. If I tell you to make a wisdom, you'd make a wisdom, etc.
Understood. Thank you.
And Fendon, are you proficient in cooking utensils? You aren't, right?
I do not think I am. Where would I find that out at?
If it's not on your sheet, then you aren't. So
Yes,
both of
then
you
I'm not.
now have tools that neither of you are proficient with.
But we could still
Okay.
learn them and use them, just not to the full extent,
Yeah,
correct?
it takes a full year to learn a skill. So if you want to learn a skill or tool proficiency, it takes a year of study.
Easy enough.
Now, is that on your own or with someone teaching you a year?
That's like on your own. It's a year.
Okay, if you have someone teach you, does it decrease the time?
Yes, depending on the skill level of the person who's teaching you.
Coolio. I didn't know that.
Nice. All right. Yeah, I'll take it.
How exactly
but-
do you get proficiency in cooking utensils through character creation then? Is it like a background you choose?
It's a tool option. So, like, when you get an option to gain proficiency in, like, an artisan tool, you can choose cooking supplies.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's how that works. Very helpful to know.
I need to go to the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back. Hopefully Steven's done.
All right. Cool. I'll also take a small step away from my desk.
Agreed. Relay in 2 minutes.
How's it going, Ian?
Oh boy. I'm excited to make some chili pizza.
Philly pizza.
Mhm.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good. I got the pizza dough from work and all that.
Yeah. So when I think of chili, two things come to my mind. There's either like the chili that you buy canned to put on hot dogs, or there's the red chili that you make at home. What kind of chili are you talking about? And welcome back, Steven.
I make chili at home. I used to do chili competitions and stuff like that. So
Awesome. See, that's actually my favorite kind of chili to have on like a chili dog.
yes, I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I make like a vat of chili probably once a month and then eat it as I go. Like I freeze most of it and then eat it as I go. And one of the things that I first do when I make the vat is I get a baguette and I actually carve out space in it for hot dogs and cheese. Look, and I just bake that shit.
Yeah, that's a
Like a
fucking
chili.
bomb.
Oh, it's so good.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
It is very good to be back. Let's see. Now I need to teach my giant how to cook properly.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's always helpful. I just need to somehow become taller. Could you teach me how to do that, Mr. Giant?
It is possible. If not, I can shrink down to your size.
Oof. How short can you go? I thought you could only shrink 2 feet.
1 foot, actually.
Oh.
I'm back.
So-
Well, you can't shrink down to my size.
So I can essentially go from 7.5 feet down to 6.5 feet.
I'm a little bit under 5 foot. Oh.
Oh. Well, let's see. Can I toss you?
Yeah, -1 in strength, but yeah,
Yeah, I think I could toss you.
definitely think you could. If you would beat my acrobatics check from trying to fucking squirm out. Do not like being tossed. How's it going, Fat?
Good, good.
That is wonderful. So, I feel like everybody's doing a better job role-playing here than the first session. Like, just a general, thing. General statement. Good job, everybody.
Thank you.
Awesome as hell with.
I have high hopes for this campaign.
As do I. I'm enjoying playing it.
Yeah.
There's been. I still feel bad for Denny because like if my character dies after 14, like it sucks. Like on one hand, doing a lot of character work makes me respect my own life and not wanting to lose it, which is a little different than how Delmonica worked.
Yeah.
For a couple of reasons, but like then it also sucks if I die because then like do I want to put that much work in again to a second character? It sucks.
Oh, fucking course you do. That's great.
Hey, Danny,
See, hey, Woody.
I just had a question with your expertise in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
So on my short trip to the restroom, I wanted to know what was the shortest path to become proficient with the cook's utensils. I still haven't really found an answer to that, but that's not my question. So I'm assuming that this website got the rulings from the player's handbook, and also from Xanathar's. So a combination of the two.
Just link me the website. I'll check it.
It said it was like 5 e-tools.
Oh, yeah. That's, like, raw rules. Unless
Okay,
it's
so-
under the, homebrew shit. But I think...
Those things that you can do with the cook's utensils, you have to be proficient to do those, correct? You can't just have the
I'm
thing and do
pretty
those things?
sure that's how it should be ruled.
Okay. But
Granted-
do you objectively know.
I do not objectively know.
Okay. So
But-
hold that for Amaya then.
I would ask Amaya, and her rule is law.
Correct.
Let's see. Cook's utensils.
Yeah.
So components include metal pot, knives, forks, stirring spoon, and a ladle. History: your knowledge of cooking techniques allows you access to special patterns, including a culture's eating habitats. Medicine: when administering treatment, you can transform medicine that is bitter or sour into a pleasant concoction.
Yeah, I was just about
That's
to tell you about
nice.
that, Ian. Bro,
Was it?
the shit potion from the old campaign that
Yes.
was allowing him to sleep. You could have
Uh-huh.
used your cooking utensils to make it not taste like shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I also
Survival.
just learned that.
Survival: when foraging for food, you can make do with ingredients you scavenge that would be unable to transform into nourishing meals. So I'm assuming pretty much throw something together.
Yeah.
And then prepare meals as part of a short rest. You can prepare a tasty meal that helps you and your companions regain their strength. You and up to 5 creatures of your choice gain 1 extra hit point per hit die spent during a short rest, provided you have access to your cook's utensils and sufficient food. And then the DC: create a typical meal and duplicate a meal's DC 10, while spot poison or impurities, and create a gourmet meal or DC 15.
Um.
Yep.
So for backup characters, do you all take characters that you've made previously, or do you make new characters?
I
generally?
make new characters because, especially with this campaign, with like the secrets and stuff, but in general, I almost always like make a new character.
Yeah.
Like I guess for this campaign, for this exact character with the same exact backstory, I made 5 different characters, trying
Oh,
to
wow.
like figure out what I wanted to do, like exactly with this character. So I rolled up like 5 different cheats, leveled them up to like level fucking 2 and shit, and then I finally decided that this was the one.
So I think I created 2 more characters on top of this one just in case, and seeing is how we lost Jay. And the combat's going to be harder. Definitely think it's going to be one of those things we might need to do. Yeah.
Or you could just be
fuck.
smarter about combat. Work harder, or work smarter, not harder.
Insufficient warning was given.
I mean, well, now you know. Modules, you usually don't want to do combat when unnecessary.
Yeah.
If there's a way out, you take the way out. If there's a way to get the drop on somebody, then take that way to get the drop on someone. But, like, if they give a way out of the combat, there's usually a reason for that.
Thing is, it kind of would have pissed me off of like knowing Sefik gets away. Like,
Oh, that would have been so bad.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I was totally okay with that happening, if I'm being completely honest.
I probably could have done something with all
At
the
least-
dogs that were in the corner when we first encountered them.
Maybe. But when we first encountered them, it was Sefik and the trader woman
Yeah, and
and lackeys.
2 lackeys, which are probably going to be like level 1 grunts.
But
That's still a lot to deal with.
like anything plus what we were already fighting.
Yeah, I mean,
I would have had to like pull all the tricks out of my bag, and I wasn't. I guess I would have if I had known that I was gonna like die, and I had a hunch that I was just gonna die on the second attack. But you know, no metagaming.
yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, is
I
that
won't
metagaming, or is
get
the
hit.
character like
I don't know.
fearing for their lives. Like, it's hard. There's a certain point where like metagaming is in
Yeah.
parallel with
Well,
characters.
The
That's
thing
when-
that I could have used, I valued like as much as my life. So
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of glad that I didn't use it.
Sure.
But it could have easily soloed the guy. Like, all I had to do was summon it and it could have killed the guy.
Oh, yeah.
But I chose not to, and that ended up costing me my life. Which is, you know, fair. I'm just
I mean-
actually just still so happy that it went down like that.
It's a really good story. As I like writing, I'm writing my journal like as if it were a book. Although,
I'm
man,
back.
like I have to. Okay.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Okay, yes, so we left off with you guys finishing up in the shop, and you guys were leaving, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you guys walk out, and Joel is standing across the street.
I guess we kind of just casually walk up to her and inform her that we're done shopping.
Okay. I will lead them to the inn so we can stay the night.
Alright, so you lead them to the Luskan Arms. Unless you guys wanted to go to the tavern first.
No, that's fine.
Luskan Arms works.
Can you put that in chat? How I spell that?
It's on the map.
It's on the map.
Oh shit! I shouldn't be so zoomed in.
Yeah, I recommend being zoomed out enough to see most of the town at least.
So, approaching this, Cornelius and Ferrando, as well as Fendon. The architecture of this place looks extremely similar to that of Luskin. The same sort of architecture style of, broken ships used as buildings and that sort of thing. That this has that same sort of like architecture to it.
These buildings look of similar design to the other town we were at.
Seems to be missing some arc arrows.
Why do all of the towns look like this?
I would assume you take what you can and use it in a forbidden place like this. Seeing as
This
we
is
wouldn't
similar
most-
architecture to Luskin, by the way. Luskin didn't exist here. It was south. It was the town that you guys went into before you guys approached the north. Like, it was the last frontier before the Frozen Wasteland.
Oh, the intertown. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have to retcon my comment. Yay.
I will not retcon either. I will go with it. It has been said.
Thank you for the clarification, though, Amaya.
Yes.
Oh. Thank you for reminding me. I had a question for you, Maya. So the things that you're able to do with cook's utensils, like all the different skills for the different aspects of the tool, you must be proficient in the tool in order to have those benefits, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, so the like benefits of those skills, you have that proficiency to like gain the benefits.
Got it. Also out of character, what are ways that Cornelius can learn how to cook while not actively practicing? Because it's not always practical to just bust out a cook pot in a fire and try and make soup.
Attempting to cook meals, essentially.
That's the only way. He can't just pick up like a cookbook and read it on the road.
Not for learning skills, because these are trait skills, so it means that like it takes active like practice to do so. It's not like
Okay,
studying
got it.
spells like wizards do and that kind of thing.
Got it.
We shall learn together.
Yeah, I guess I would rule that like a cookbook or something would assist you in your learning, but you can't just read to learn how to do something for most
Think about it
things.
this way: you might know how a motherboard is made, but that doesn't mean that you can make a motherboard.
Exactly.
That's fair. Okay. Yeah, I'm satisfied with that.
So would you gain like advantage on your checks if you had a book that told you like exactly what to do and how to cook if you were cooking meals?
I would
Out of
imagine
the
it,
Like
book.
it would
advantage
either,
on the flat roll.
You have like a recipe book, like I'm sure that there's some like homebrew in-depth version of it, but there's no rules for that for
I mean,
raw. So
I would either give you advantage or lower the DC of the check or something, because you are like
Got it.
you do have some information rather than just winging it. But
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just
plus-
wondering.
Yeah, because it pretty much should be details on how to prepare it and all that stuff, but you still have to actually do it, which means you're not exactly going to be good
it's
at
like
it.
it's
if you
like following
don't
a recipe. Following a
Yeah.
recipe is easier
Got it.
than just trying to think of something off the fly.
Yeah.
Because I do a lot of cooking, and I mean, just because it tells you how to do it doesn't mean it's exactly going to be easy to do, especially if it's something
Right.
complicated.
Okay, I like that.
Shall we get out of the cold?
Oh, we hadn't already gone in. Oh, my bad. Yes.
you guys
I
haven't been
haste.
gone in yet. Going inside, much of the decor looks extremely old. It looks to be almost 200 years old, reflecting Luskin as it was in the years before its decline. It has sturdy walls, but the floorboards are rotting a bit, and you guys can hear the skimpering of rats between the walls.
Do I see any rats?
Make a perception check.
Oh God.
You see, like, the tail of a rat as it, like, scurries through, like, a hole in the wall, but you aren't able to, like, see the full rat.
Can I attempt to walk over towards it without scaring it away, or would I scare
Oh,
it?
it was, like, going into the hole that was in the wall.
Okay. Interesting.
Well,
You guys see
Cornelius-
slouched in one of the old chairs. The chair seems to have, like, holes with stuffing coming out of it. Sitting in it is Owen Tarsenal. He's sort of a balding man, and he looks to be lost in his thoughts.
Owen Tursto?
Owen Tarsenal.
Tarso.
Essentially like Arsenal, but with a T on it.
Got it. Yes, I will approach Owen, although Cornelius doesn't know that's his name yet.
You approach him and he looks up to you. Yes, yes. What can I do
Oh.
for you?
Well, hello there, my name is Cornelius.
I don't give a damn what your name is. What can I do for you?
Fair enough. My compatriots and I are looking for accommodation.
Well, it's a public home. You're more than welcome to stay in any of the rooms that aren't currently occupied.
Okay. Is there a cost for said rooms?
It's a public place.
Okay.
You can make a donation if you wish, but other than that, you're welcome to use the rooms.
I appreciate it. And is there like a tip jar?
There's like a slot. It looks to be like a mailbox on the way out. It's essentially just a box sitting on the wall with like slots in it for people to drop like coins into.
I will go slip 3 silver coins into donation box and let everyone know. Yeah, we just go find a room. That's how this inn works. How strange.
Most of the rooms seem to be occupied by sailors. There's one large door at the end of one of the hallways, but it is occupied, or Jill would note that it is occupied by the town speaker. Prefers to stay in the inn because it reminds him of home, because this town speaker was originally from Luskan.
So wait, so there's no open rooms?
No, there is some open rooms. It's just the majority of them are occupied by sailors. You're able to find like 3 open rooms currently, and each of them have double beds. As you guys are walking back towards the area of all the rooms, it's sort of like this large central area with rooms breaking off on all the sides. Sitting at a table is a figure that looks to be a bit odd. It seems as though they're wearing some sort of mask. And they're just sitting at one of the tables with the mask slightly lifted so they can drink their ale.
Wouldn't it be easier to remove your mask to finish that ale, kind sir?
Oh god.
Well, I'll look over it. I guess who just spoke to me.
Ooh.
So what do I see when I look at you guys?
Oh god.
I mean, I probably am leaning against walls with my arms crossed, looking at you in the mask, kind of weirded out. Not weirded out, but like for a little, it's strange.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at the architecture of the building we're in.
I'm also looking at you. And I look like I know how to carry myself. So I'm kind of just like on my own. I'm not leaning, but I don't look uncomfortable. At least I hope I don't.
Well, I will stand up, leaving the drink on the table, and then look Fernando up and down, trying to gauge what exactly he's here for and what he'd be good at. As you see me stand up, I leave my weapon sitting at the table. I have a sword leaned up against the table with a bone scabbard. And I'll just lift up my mask as I approach him. You see that my eyes are like a milky white color. I have like a small plump face, and I appear as a little kid almost. I have a bun. My hair's tied up in a bun, and I'm female to the best of your knowledge. And I'm a little under 5 feet tall. And I'm
Is it
sitting there
unusual
looking you up and down.
Is it unusual for Denny's character to have milky eyes like that? Like, is that something that like Cornelius knows about? That's an odd feature.
I'm not there. By the way.
Typically, it typically indicates that the person is blind. It's
would
usually
Cornelius know
like
that?
it's called an eye sickness in the Forgotten Realms. Essentially, it's as though the gods curse them with clouded eyes.
Anyway, I'm not there. I went inside one of the empty rooms to, clean up and prepare Jay's
Yeah.
body.
So at this point, without having really said anything to Denny's character, does Cornelius know that Denny's character is blind?
Your character could assume that Danny's character is blind.
Got it. Well, Cornelius knows, but he does not react.
So the mask is to hide your impairment, but you seem to be moving around just fine.
Well, of course I move around just fine. Why wouldn't I?
I haven't met many people with milky eyes that can see the front of their face, let alone the room.
Hence why I wear the mask.
To make dolts like me less presumptuous.
You could say that.
Would you mind if I asked your story, stranger?
If you'd purchase me another drink, sure. And then I'll offer him a seat at my table as I start walking back toward it and put my mask back on.
I'll also come over to the table.
And
A fair
as-
price. Barkeep.
So ignore kind of the map. This place is just an inn. They don't sell beer or okay. So they sell like ale. They have ale. But they don't like sell food or anything like that. It's just like an inn.
Okay, that's good to know.
It has like a public keg that people can drink from.
So, I did catch a glimpse of his eyes before he put his mask back down, and I will approach her, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Your sight, was it blessed or cursed by the gods?
Well, I suppose you could say it was a curse. I was born like this, and I've lived my whole life like this.
Interesting.
I think of it more as just a part of who I am.
It is possible, where the gods could have a purpose for you. You've lasted this long, out in this forbidden area, wasteland. And then I go to join them at the table.
So, does Cornelius know about the public keg?
It's pretty visible. Yeah, you would know about it.
Like,
I'm not
does
sure if you would know
Cornelius
that it's public, but you would see that it's
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
Oh, I made it sound like you have to pay for your drinks, so
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't know that it's a public keg. You'd probably have to go and bother the man who you spoke to about the rooms.
Where is the keg? I'm
like,
so sorry. All right, I'm just gonna go stand like near it, and I'm gonna do that John Travolta gif where he's just like, "The fuck."
Where's the donation box? In relevance to this
door,
map.
right?
it's like just against the door. This
Okay.
is the door right here. God, why is Roll20 lagging so bad right now?
Pretty bad.
Mine's doing okay.
1 second. It might just be because we've loaded too many maps currently. So
Mine's not lagging.
Mine's
just-
lagging quite a bit.
It's just you.
let me do this.
I'm lagging like a
Everyone I think is lagging. I hear 3 people's voices breaking up currently.
Yeah.
That's weird.
How's
Oh,
everybody's
no.
RAM doing?
The US's internet.
so
Amaya,
I
can
sh-
you throw Cornelius a bone? Can I make some kind of check to understand what the fuck is going on with this keg?
Yeah, insight. Go ahead. That should have fixed most of the lag. I just reset the vision or took away dynamic lighting on one of the maps, so that should help. You'd be able to deduce that it's like a public area. There are like tankards sitting next to it, and the spout's facing outward, so you would assume it to be like a public thing.
Regardless, I'd like to try and sleight of hand 4 mugs of ale.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to make a wrong assumption and piss someone off.
As you go through and you put the ale into these mugs, nobody says anything to you. It does slosh a little bit as you're carrying the mugs of ale over to the table. Some of it sloshes onto the ground and makes a splattering sound.
Alright, and as I'm walking back, I'm kind of just darting my eyes back and forth, seeing if anyone's just like staring at me. And I put the mugs of ale on the table. Here you are, friend. I didn't pay for these. I hope that's okay.
I normally just leave a tip when I'm done.
Got it. I'll consider my tip at the door to be part of it. I really hope that covers it. I do not like to steal.
And again, I look like maybe just hitting teens. Like, I look like a child still.
Yeah, no, Cornelius is fine with this.
Okay.
You asked for ale, I gave you ale. I'm not a fucking parent.
Okay. Well,
So, an ale for a story. That was the deal.
yeah. I guess. Where to start? I'm traveling these lands, searching for almost adventure. I'm exploring and finding new beasts that I haven't seen before. You see, I'm here to, I guess, find who I am and also gather some maybe needed information, along with drawing useful pictures for my friend back home. And I'll grab a scroll case from my side and open it up and lay out a couple pictures that I've drawn.
What does Cornelius see in these drawings?
Well, you can't really identify what they are except that they are things. Possibly creatures, maybe. It's pretty much just like the drawings of a child, like stick figures and stuff. One of them
Do-
has like sharp teeth. It looks big.
Do I recognize any of the creatures at all?
I hope not.
Make an insight check.
Oof.
No, sir.
Cornelius kind of has this bug-eyed look on his face, and he points at one in the middle. Tell me, what is this one?
What kind of birds are in the area, Amaya?
There is there's like
No owls?
rocks. There's like ravens,
That one's a
snow
raven.
vultures.
I never saw one of those before. I haven't really spent much time outside until I came out here.
I see. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Isn't it beautiful?
Yes. Can I roll deception, please? I don't want Denny's character to feel bad.
You're rolling deception for what?
So that he believes that I believe that it's a beautiful picture.
Sure.
Oh God.
Ooh.
I don't even know what that translates to.
I don't
That's-
know
an
how you
insight
That's
want to
like-
internalize it. Oh God.
That's like, yes, it's... Oh, nat 1!
Oh God.
It doesn't matter if your skill's still higher. You can know that he's lying.
Do
That's
you
great.
not like my picture?
No. It's fantastic. I needed some help to appreciate its beauty. It's wonderful.
I believe he did not understand what you were creatively applying your thoughts to, is what I think he is trying to say.
I just drew what I saw.
No. It's wonderful. I'm not much of an artist. It's much better than anything I could make.
If I may be candid, rather blunt, you seem a bit young to be adventuring in for the sake of drawing monsters, I suppose.
I'm not young. I'm old enough to be out here on my own.
You seem to hold that blade comfortably. Tell me, what experience do you have wielding it?
Well, I was given this blade by my mentor a few years ago, and I've been training with it since then.
Do you mind describing your training?
Well, so I've never really been out on my own. And then when I came out here, I was all alone because I moved away from where I had lived the rest of my life. I used to, well, I'll look around a little bit and see if these guys are the only ones watching me.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Do.
Yeah,
Nice.
these guys are the only ones watching.
Easy.
So, I attended a college for mages in... Where was that place called again, Amaya? Is it Waterdeep? Yeah, Waterdeep.
Unga bunga.
In Waterdeep, I attended a college of mages, and I figured out that the arcane arts were not really meant for me. So, after a few years of studying, I traveled north to try to find what I could actually do well with my life, and I found myself out here.
Such a shame
I-
that the Hawkwinter Academy doesn't accept people of non-noble lineage. You would have had plenty of training there.
Do I know where that is?
What is?
The Hawkwinter Academy.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
you-
like
Okay. Oh, is that where you're from?
yes, I was its premier fencer. Though I must tell you, out here, such swordplay trickery doesn't seem to get you very far.
Well, I suppose that can be true. I haven't really had to use this all that much, but I'm well accustomed to having it at my side when needed.
I must Pardon myself and my compatriots. You've told us much, but not your name. I am Ferrando Hawkwinter. And you are?
I'll stand up and give like a slight bow with my hand out to the side. I'm Adrian.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Adrian. You said the arcane arts were not for you. Why?
It just didn't feel like it called to me. I could attend classes, I could take down any notes that I heard, but it just wasn't me.
Pursuing a calling is quite the luxury. How did you get here? It's not quite easy to travel here from Waterdeep. Cornelius and I know that intimately.
Well, hitching rides with caravans and whatnot, I was able to find my way here with little to no gold left. So, when I encountered my master, I was able to learn about the environment and get accustomed to the area.
Who is this master of yours? Is he or she still with us?
If she is, she just moved away to a town that I'm not well accustomed with. I'm still researching the animals in, I guess, all of the regions, and she felt like she needed to move on and, I guess, it's quite hard to say.
And what was your master... What was your master's trade? I guess is what it would be. What did she do? What was she your master of?
Well, she was out here teaching me how to find the power within myself. And what she did was she survived out here. She was a hunter-gatherer. And she just made a basic living while trying to, I guess, also find herself and understand the power within her, as we all have.
And what type of power may that be? And what magics did you study, may I ask?
Well, I'm told that this power is key, but I'm still just getting used to it. I haven't really gotten to practice with it that much.
I see. I'm unfamiliar with this key, as it has no meaning to me.
Does Cornelius know what key is?
What was that? I'm sorry.
That's okay. I said, does Cornelius know what key is?
Key? Yeah, you would know that it's like an energy that monks drawn. You would.
I would
most
know
of you
that
guys would
too.
know like base information of like
Yeah.
other classes and the way that they work and function. So similar to like how a wizard draws their power, you would know that they get their magical power from somewhere. Like you would have heard the term. You wouldn't know inherently what it is, but you would know like what it is essentially.
Given my military background and the Hawkwinter setup, how much would I know about, like, I would know that it's unusual for anyone to talk about key and also wield a weapon, right? I would know that much.
No, not necessarily. There are like monks that use like weapons.
Okay.
You would know that there are like some monks that are even trained with weapons to the degree that they can use any weapon proficiently.
Okay.
Since, due to my background, would I know anything about it? Since I'm kind of like a recluse.
You would still know like the base information on the different classes. Again, you wouldn't know specifics.
Okay, so I have heard of key then. Okay.
Yeah. So just because you're an outlander doesn't mean that you like aren't familiar with civilization and that kind of thing. Like you'd still know basic information that other characters would know. You would still know like formalities and customs and that kind of thing of other races.
Okay, that'll work.
I'm curious, Edgen. How familiar are you with these parts? How long have you been specifically in Icewind Dale?
Well, let me think. I suppose I've been living out here for quite a few years. I can't really say how many years, but it had to be more than 5.
Would you feel comfortable, say, guiding newcomers such as the three of us?
I'm gonna shoot Friendo a look, like a side eye.
Well, I've never done that. I've mainly just been out on my own or with a small group, but I suppose I've been in the area for long enough. Well, where are you trying to go?
Well, our previous guide pair is now an individual due to some unfortunate circumstances. We were accompanying her to Bryn Shander, where she may bury her brethren. After that, there is news that the fishermen are being attacked by some sort of monster in Bremen. I figured we would be going there. Perhaps a drawing of this unnamed monstrosity would interest you enough to accompany us in the meantime?
Upon that, you hear me, like, gasp a little bit, and yes, I think that would be wonderful if I could accompany you all. What exactly is that monster you spoke of?
No specifics were given.
Would I know anything about that?
About the monster that's in the lake,
Yeah.
you weren't sure. You would just know that it's some sort of lake monster.
Okay.
Have about as much information as they do.
Well, yes, I would very much like to see that with my own eyes. I've just heard stories, but being able to actually see it up close, that would be very nice, and I could draw a magnificent picture. And with that, I'll remember that I had my pictures laid out on the table, and I'll gather them up and put them back in a scroll case.
While she's shuffling the pictures back in the scroll case, I want to try and sleight of hand a silver piece into the scroll case and see
Okay.
if she notices. Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that'd be.
What's your passive perception?
13.
Yeah, so you slip the coin in and she doesn't notice.
Interesting. Cornelius makes note of this observation, but says nothing of it.
Again, I'll store the scroll case by my side, where you see 2 scroll cases.
What is in the second scroll case? Is it more drawings, I would assume?
You could say that, I guess.
Interesting.
I mean,
Why
it's-
draw these monsters? It seems an odd interest to have for one who's seeking to be a disciplined warrior.
Well, I'm not really seeking to be a disciplined warrior. It's just the life that I feel like was chosen for me. It's my life. And the reason I'm drawing these is I have a friend back at the Magic Academy who is very similar to me. does not have her eyesight, and the only way that she's able to see is through a familiar. I fear that she will not get to venture out to see any of these things, so
And so you draw.
I draw so that I can send them back to her someday and she can experience what I've experienced.
And as for you, how exactly do you see since you have no sight? Is it this key you spoke of, I assume?
Well, that's part of it. I think that we all have an ability to tap into our innermost power, and tapping into your key might help you in a different way.
I shall remember that. It may be something I wish to learn about in the future.
Anyway, I shall be retiring for the evening. We shall go in the morning.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Well, thank you for the interesting conversation, Adrian.
I'm sure I'll hear more about your stories tomorrow.
And I'm gonna find my way to a room that's empty.
Yeah,
Preferably.
I'm going to go ahead and go to up towards the donation box and slip 2 gold pieces.
Okay. So you guys are all retiring to your rooms for the night?
Ideally.
Okay, so I assume there's essentially like 3 rooms that you guys found. So and they both and all of them have double beds. So who's staying where, or who's staying with who? I should say.
Me and Frendo would buddy up, I guess.
Yeah, I think that would be fair.
I
And
will.
Jill is already in her own room.
Well, I suppose I will call out to the giant of a man. You're also staying here?
For the time being, yes. As I'm traveling with these people.
Would you mind if I stay in the room with you?
If you wish, you can have the bed. I could sleep on the floor. Or is there
And-
2 beds in the room?
It's a double bed.
It's a double bed.
Double bed, okay.
I have like knowledge of all the races, correct?
Everybody pretty much has like basic knowledge of all the races, like just basic legend lore, essentially.
When
didn't
you say
wanna
double bed,
assume
do you mean
things.
bunk bed?
No, I mean like a queen bed, like a queen/king size bed, like a double bed.
Well, as we're walking back to the room that me and the Furbolg will share, I'll ask him to tell me about his life, and while I ask him that, I will speak it in Giant.
I'm surprised you know this language as I reply to him in Giant. Where did you come across this language and learn it?
Well, I've learned quite a few languages. With
Yes.
my time at the academy and then my time out here.
Yes, but Giant is one of the more uncommon languages spoken, as there are not exactly many of my kind left.
Well, there are plenty who speak Giant out here.
I guess that would be so, as these so-called Goliaths are also descendants from what I've been told.
Well, yes, to the best of my knowledge.
So, you wish to ask of my life.
Yeah.
What do you wish to know is what I should ask you,
I
for
guess.
it's been long.
I guess the basic things, such as what I explained to you about my life.
Well, I originally come from Lurkwood Forest, south of the spine of the world. I stayed there for the first century or so, and studied under a human alchemist. His name was Denethor, and he was dear to me. But sadly, I outlived him and he passed. From that point on, I took the role of sage in my clan. But due to a very unfortunate series of events that happened, I imposed self-exile, and I traveled north. So for the last half-century, I was in the spine of the world, and I finally decided to travel north, and due to unforeseen consequences, I am here now. I can answer any specifics if you would so wish to know.
That's enough basic information. And that's like probably as we're getting into the room. So I'll offer the bed to you. And I'm prepared to stay on the floor.
And as you offer me that, I say no. Beds are something I'm not exactly accustomed to. You can have it if you wish. I was not exactly raised around luxuries such as these. Therefore, they feel uncomfortable and unnatural to me.
Well, I suppose that's fair enough. I haven't really had the most fortunate upbringing in the past several years. So I'm also not that accustomed to sleeping in a bed. I normally just pitch a tent. But I'll take the bed.
Very well. As I pull out a bedroll and prepare it on the floor. Now, what about you? You said you would tell me something about you?
Well, what else would you like to know?
Well, I'm interested in hearing about your reasoning for coming this far north. You seem young, but I feel like there is something else that you're not telling us.
Well, I'm not young, and my reasoning is sort of for soul searching. Do you know what that is?
I do not, but I would if you were to explain it to me.
So, I'm searching for who I am as a person. And whatever I am called to, I try my best to find it in myself and understand what I need to do to fulfill a given role in the world. And that's why I'm here.
That sounds similar to something I have come to wonder myself.
I guess it must have been hard for you in the recent years with whatever happened at your home. I'm sorry to hear that again.
That for now shall remain personal to me. But if you were to ever live to as long as I have, you will know such hardships are common. Do I know what race you are by chance?
Human.
Human, okay. What exactly is key, may I ask? I know you mentioned its inner strength, but is there any more you can elaborate on it? as I am not exactly familiar with it.
Well, do you know how a sorcerer stumbles across their power? They're given it innately.
I have heard of such things, yes.
Well, the key is inside all of us. But, and then I ponder for a second. You have to train it and nurture it to unlock its full potential.
That is interesting. That sounds like the balance of nature almost.
Doesn't work.
Well, yes, I suppose that's fair. Nature is, in its own right, a extreme form of power that dominates the world.
Yes, but it must always be kept in balance. For if one element were to come out of balance, drastic things should happen, as I fear currently is what is happening in this land.
Oh man, Amaya's typing.
Uh-oh.
Did I say something wrong?
No, you didn't say
Got
anything
him.
wrong. You guys are just fine.
Oh, okay.
It's just I'm
Taking a long
realizing
time.
like how much time what I prepped is actually gonna last.
I'm so sorry.
Uh-oh.
Well, I think it's best to call it a night and we can discuss the rest on the way to the next town.
I would concur. They called me Fendon, by the way, as they do not exactly have a name.
I guess me and you are almost similar in that regard. A name isn't something that you really need per se, but many of the races decide that it's a necessity to have.
I concur. Irregardless, Adrian, we should get some rest now, as it is getting late.
Alright, go to sleep.
Alright, so you guys find yourselves to rest. Jill, you spent some time cleaning up Jay's body, getting rid of the ice crystals and such. The purpleness on her skin, it's faded a little bit, but the majority of it is still there. The body is more malleable now, though, and more easily manipulated.
Yeah. I just pose her with like crossed arms, and then I wrap her body up.
Okay. What are you wrapping her up with?
I don't know.
How many furs did you have, Denny? On
I
your
had
character?
2 pelts,
2 pelts.
plus my winter clothing and yada yada, etc.
Would that be enough to wrap her up in the pelts, or?
It would be enough to like cover her upper body. So like you would be able to put like 1 pelt underneath her and 1 pelt on top of her, and then like stitch the 2 together to cover her upper body.
Does the room have like sheets that I can just use?
I mean, yeah, it has bed sheets and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, can I wrap her up in those so I can wrap
my
up her
God.
body?
So you're wrapping her up in the bed sheets.
Yeah, I'll leave a tip as I leave
Okay.
for the bed sheets. Whatever.
That's one way to do it.
Oh.
And then are you leaving her on the bed and then sleeping on the ground, or what are you doing for your sleep?
Mhm.
Okay. Alright, so you guys wake up the next morning. And yeah, you're awake.
To Bryn Shanda we go.
Yes. Yes, we do. And I exit my room.
I was
I
up.
will. Be,
Oh, I was gonna say I was up early and I'm already outside waiting. So
And you guys haven't gotten food for the past 3 days, so just make sure to remove rations.
so 3
Oh,
things are
whoops.
rations. So
I fucked up.
And I don't know if you guys got food. I don't think you guys got food on your way to Bremen either, so I'll also remove a ration for that.
I think the last meal we ate at was the tavern.
So that's 4 rations?
Then are you guys
Yes.
getting food here before you leave? In town?
Well, they don't serve. Oh, in town. Yes.
General
We should
store.
go-
yeah.
What? No, I want to go get a. I want to go get a meal. I don't want rations. How many rations was it though?
4.
Okay.
But I leave a silver piece as a tip on the way out.
Sorry, I put you guys in the wrong town. Just have to move. You said you leave a silver piece?
Hmm.
Okay. Wait, this is the wrong town again.
No.
I just clicked on the wrong town.
I was about to say. I was like,
I
it is. Oh,
clicked on the
shit.
wrong town.
Mayor.
The tavern is the Three Flags Sailing. That is the tavern in this town.
So space time, right? Not much time has passed since I guess I woke up. Where is everyone spatially?
Well, I assume you guys would have like gotten up and then just left the tavern together.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out because Jillian says she was already outside.
I'm outside waiting. Yeah.
She's
I
just
woke
waiting
up
for
and left the
everyone.
room.
I was up
shortly
earlier than
behind.
everybody else on purpose.
And then,
So as you left, she would have been the first person you saw.
Yeah.
so are we all in general
leaving
agreement, then
leaving
we
the
all
tavern.
left
Yep.
at the same time?
All of us left at the same time except for Jillian.
Who was waiting
Well,
outside.
I will turn to the party and address them. I hate to be a bother, but I am quite peckish. Is there any way we could secure some breakfast?
Is there a tavern in this town?
There's a place we can get some food. Yeah. Also, who's this?
This is Adrian. She likes hunting monsters.
I'm gonna start walking towards the tavern.
Well, I guess I like hunting, and I would like to see things. So I guess I like hunting monsters. Oh God.
We're going to need assistance with the lake monster in Bremen. So I've invited her along.
Sure.
What exactly is this lake monster?
It
I
is
know
a
you've spoken of it
monster-
earlier.
Yes, it is a monster in a lake, and it's killing fishermen. More details than that, I know not.
Interesting. I shall see if we can deduce what the monster exactly is at some point later on once we arrive.
That would be tremendously useful, Fendon. Thank you.
Going inside, you guys see a few fishermen who look to be cold and tired, sitting at the various tables, enjoying a bowl of what seems to be a steaming hot stew.
My, that does seem a bit more satisfying than a typical ration.
I couldn't agree more, friendo. Let's go find out what they have. And I approach the counter. Well, Cornelius approaches the counter.
All right. There is a woman named Ethan. She greets you. You hear a few of the fishermen refer to her as Ma, like saying, "Hey Ma, can I get another bowl of stew?"
Oh god, we're in Boston. Okay.
I get that reference.
So yeah, Cornelius approaches the counter.
She looks over at you. She seems pretty busy preparing like different bowls of stews and passing them out. What can I get for you?
I'm gonna kind of like raise an eyebrow at her. Ma?
It's what people call me.
Got it. What kind of food do you serve here? That's gonna be a recurring question, by the way. It helps my immersion. I'm so sorry.
Well, I serve knucklehead trout stew. It's the only thing we really have up here.
I see. And how much is a bowl of knucklehead trout stew?
5 copper pieces. Purple.
I'll take one.
No problem. She hands you a bowl of this knucklehead trout stew. It seems pretty hearty. It has potatoes and knucklehead trout, and it seems as though the broth has been stewed for several hours, making a very rich fish stock.
Is it tasty?
It tastes like extravagant, due to the fact that you still aren't quite tired of the taste of this buttery fish that seems to almost melt in your mouth.
I'm just gonna go up to the counter and put 5 copper on the counter.
Yeah, Cornelius.
Without saying a word, she sloshes soup into a bowl and seems to almost shove it towards you.
I'll just take it
The
and go
stew is
sit
being
down.
devoured.
I will approach afterwards and put down a single silver piece and ask for 2 bowls.
Prepares 2 bowls and places them on the counter for you to pick up.
I'm gonna go ahead and walk back to the table and go and give a bowl to Adrian. Here you go, Adrian.
Oh well, thank you.
Y'all may not have actually seen the anime, but you're familiar with all the concept of the anime Food Wars, right?
Oh yeah,
I'm still watching that.
Like
that stuff looks
I
so
just
good.
I just finished the first season.
Cornelius is enjoying this stew so much, he's actually creaming his pants.
Actually, figuratively, right?
Of course.
He has
Yeah.
he has an instant nosebleed.
Clothes
Oh.
actually
His
just
clothes
rip
actually
off.
just explode.
Yeah, they just explode. And do you feel like you're getting caressed by fishtails?
Oh no.
Yeah. No, he is having an adventure. And after I would have picked my bowl of soup up from the counter, well, Cornelius would have. Where would he have gone to eat it? Are there seats at the bar? How does this establishment work?
It's just an inn, so it has tables and stuff like that.
Okay.
Essentially the same layout as the other one.
Yeah.
So after having devoured and really enjoyed the bowl of stew, Cornelius will approach the counter once again.
She sort of looks at you. The bowl.
Oh, right.
I assume you want more.
No. Where did you learn to cook like this?
Well, the fish does most of the cooking. I suppose when you have 6 kids, it tends to just come naturally.
Have you written down a recipe anywhere?
It's a trade secret.
I see. Well, thank you very much, Ma. It was incredible.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I'm gonna go sit back down. Cornelius
Say, if
will
you're
go and sit back
traveling
down.
with Jillian, where's Jay? Normally the two are inseparable.
Cornelius turns around as he is beginning to walk back to his table. Oh, right. Jillian is fine, I suppose, and Jay was killed.
Jay was killed by what? What do you mean Jay was killed?
Jay was murdered by a man who was hissed by the Frost Maiden. My don't know if you know who he is.
Kissed by the Frost Maiden, just like the witch.
That is where Jay is. Does that answer your question?
Did you see it happen?
I went down after Jay was killed, right?
I believe you did, yes.
I believe, yeah, the turn before.
Unfortunately, yes, I did bear witness to that.
So the witch didn't do it then?
No, it was certainly not.
Well, in any case, I hope you have a safe travel. Watch your back.
Thank you.
You can never
I
trust
wish
those that
help
follow
to
the maiden.
You and your family. Yeah, the way that I said that is actually how he spoke. He understands what was said to him, and he kind of just trots over to the table, and he has a concentrated look on his face.
You seem not alright. What happened?
I appreciate you keeping an eye out for me, Fendon. Everything's fine. She wouldn't tell me the recipe to her soup, and I am quite distraught about that.
I'm gonna go ahead and look at my soup. Can I deduce any sort of ingredients from tasting the soup and how it's made?
Potato and fish. Potato and
fish.
knucklehead trout. With some
Can I-
pepper
I'm gonna
and
try
salt.
and
Can I
Metagame.
sense anything else in it? Any spices or anything like that, or is it just potato and trout?
Potato, trout, salt, and pepper.
The trout
Alright.
is delicious.
Yeah, I imagine it's like the best like salmon ever.
Cornelius, I believe it is the trout. Maybe potato and salt and pepper, I believe. I don't taste
Well-
anything else.
I may not know how to cook Fendon, but I do know that there's more to preparing a dish than simply raw ingredients. I do appreciate you looking into that for me, though.
You are welcome.
And Cornelius will fold his hands together, kind of like twiddle his thumbs, and just wait for everyone else to finish eating.
Yeah, I'm just an incredibly slow eater. I'm so sorry. I didn't know we were in a hurry. I can eat faster.
No, it's fine. I just have a lot on my mind. I have to figure out how to stew fish.
I believe Ferendo wants to deal with this lake monster. Am I not correct?
Yes, every day we wait, presumably more fishermen die. So,
Okay, so are you guys
Sadly, I
leaving
would
the
have to
town?
agree.
I want to swing by the general store when Cornelius wants to.
I'll
Okay,
follow.
who else is going with him?
I will follow.
Anybody else?
I mean, I'll stay with the majority.
Same.
Easy.
Okay, so everybody walks towards the general store. As you trudge through the town, snow crunching underneath your feet, you hear the bark of a dog over the whistle of the wind. A wolf-sized sled dog with light gray fur runs toward you, dragging a broken leather harness behind it.
Oh no. What can I determine based off of the situation? Or what can Cornelius determine?
So are you, like, turning to look at the dog?
Yeah. I'm acknowledging its presence and looking at it in its situation.
Right, as you turn toward the dog, it tackles you and it whimpers as it licks your face. So it like looks to you, it tackles you down, essentially pins you to the ground, and then like licks your face while whimpering.
Cornelius is screaming, ah! And then he gets light and he's like, oh, hello.
And then I'm watching, I'd be like, I believe he likes you.
Does the dog look familiar
sir.
at all?
The dog doesn't look familiar. It gets off of you, lets you get up, and then it lets out a bark, turns around, and then points its nose in a direction, similar to the way that a red hound does.
Can I go ahead and speak with it and ask what it is that it wants us to do?
One second.
Man, druids are fucky.
This is the more refined ability than the first one.
Oh, yeah.
It seems as though it wants you to follow it.
Cornelius, I believe we should follow it. That is what... can I determine the gender of the dog?
It looks to be a boy.
We should follow him.
Oh, joy, more distraction.
I do not sense any danger, at least for right now.
It grabs Rando's
Wow.
bootstrap and, like, tugs it in the direction it was pointing.
God.
This is very fine leather, vermin. Off! No, that doesn't mean bite hard, damn it.
Ferendo, be gentle. He means no harm to you.
He's on my damn boot.
I understand, but he's still a living being.
Well, this living being... Where is this living being taking us? Is it just going to go in a direction round circle, chase its tail, perhaps?
We follow it, of course. I've already
Oh.
asked him, so we shall follow.
But of course...
The dog begins sprinting in the direction of this house now that you've communicated that you're going to be following it. It starts sprinting in this direction.
Cornelius will do his best to keep up with the dog.
Same.
Stupid emergencies.
Well, this is
Alright.
quite a sight.
The damage to my boot better be worth it, mongrel.
Alright, so it sprints down the street and it leads you to this house right here. It then begins scratching at the door and barking.
I'm gonna go ahead and communicate with it again. My friend, is there any danger inside?
While
A
while
handsome
Fendon
man
is
that
talking.
appears to be in his 30s opens the door and the dog races inside the door. He seems to be smiling when he answers the door, and then he looks out to all of you standing on his porch. His smile fades. Please come in.
Why?
Well, my husband is missing, and you all
So-
look to be capable enough to find him.
My goodness, is everyone just sending out their dogs to get us to help them? Fine. Fine.
He did wish for some help. I believe we should aid him.
All who agree say whatever.
And as you guys go inside, he motions you to sit down, and then he hands each of you a cup of warm cider, including you, Jillian.
I want to check if the cider's poisoned.
Do you have the detect poison spell?
Fucking no. I just
I
want
have it,
general
but
wisdom.
I have it, but it's not prepared.
Make an insight check, I guess.
Oh, thank God. I don't want to die. Cornelius doesn't want to die.
Oh,
It seems like it's just cider, with good intentions.
Cornelius will hesitantly drink the cider.
What? I can't spin my dice.
No, pay attention.
I am paying attention.
I'm
So-
gonna go
And
ahead.
I can hear it, and it's annoying me.
I'm gonna go ahead and ask the lady. The dog brought us here.
It's a man.
It's a man. Oops. I'm terrible with this.
Did you just assume that NPC's gender?
So he sits you down, and then he comes back, and he begins telling you a story. I was born in the 10 Towns, but my husband came from a wealthy family in Neverwinter. Garrett didn't care for city life. When I first met him, he was working as a guide. He loves the outdoors, and he loves to climb mountains. A few days ago, Garrett was hired by some adventurers to lead them up the slopes of Kelvin's Cairn. Garrett's plan was to take the adventurers to Caer Konig, the town at the foot of Kelvinscairn. After they acquired some climbing gear from the outfitter there, he was to lead them up the mountain. Garrett took 6 dogs and a sled with him. Boy here was Garrett's favorite, raised him from a pup. Boy would never leave Garrett's side unless something terrible had happened. It's a lot to ask, but could I persuade you to go up there and find Garrett and his companions? I don't have money, but the proprietor, Ma, I could get you some free meals with her whenever you visit town. And if it helps at all, I'm also a scrimshander by trade, and I can give you some of my artwork. It's not worth much, I confess, but it's all I can give you.
At the mention of free meals from Ma, Cornelius very evidently, like, raises an eyebrow and smiles. He's not trying to hide it at all.
Down, Cornelius. Yes, Ma's cooking is exceptional, but this is quite the trip, and we have quite the docket. The fishermen take priority. Their lives are absolutely for certain being lost, though I absolutely would find your husband, and perhaps this dog can be of service in this search for this, what was it, Garrett?
I won't protest. The boy probably knows where he is. I know he's still alive.
May I ask how far this destination is from this town?
It's in Kelvinscairn. It's a fair distance away.
And I believe the opposite direction from our fishermen.
And from Bremen, how many days' travel is it?
From Targos to Caer Konig. That's 12, 18 and a half,
It's so many days.
23. So it's 23
Holy
miles.
Shit. Oh my god.
And
And
that's from the town
that's
we're
from
currently in?
Bremen or Largos?
That's from Targos.
Yes.
Got it.
Seems like quite a
Okay.
distance, especially in this weather. And unbeknownst to us, another blizzard could kick off and slow our travel down even more.
Jillian will pipe up. Well, as long as you don't mind that I'm the one doing it, I'd be happy to help.
Don't believe that your birth curses you. I'm not like the others here. Your circumstances, just because of the way or the time or how you were born, it doesn't determine who you are.
Out of
And for what
character,
it's... Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, wait, don't we still have to bury Jay?
Yes, we do.
Yes, you do.
Holy
Yes.
shit.
And
What?
that's
Okay.
in Bremen, correct?
Enchanter.
We're
Yeah.
Super Enchanter.
Okay.
Got
And
it.
for what it's
Okay.
worth, Jillian, I believe we're all in agreement on that very fact. So, with that said, to Brynchander.
Right. One emergency at a time.
Just if you ever find yourselves up there, please just look for him. If you want to take Boy with you, I'm not opposed to that.
The journey will be deliberate. We will be to Brynchander, to Bremen, and then off to find your Garrett, I believe was the name, yes?
Yeah, yes.
The group of people that hired him, what were they like? Do you know by chance?
I don't know. I just know that it was a group of adventurers.
Do you have any artwork of your compatriot?
As a matter of fact, I do. He goes back and he grabs a portrait that he painted, of Garrett.
And this is...
Is it better than my artwork?
It is much better than your artwork.
My jaw just kind of drops even though you can't see it, and I lean forward a little bit.
How would you describe Garrett?
Well, the description would be right here on this painting.
Let me
I
pull up
believe.
the description of him. Because it doesn't describe him until later in the chapter.
Okay.
He looks like Garrett.
True. That's all we need to know for now.
Yeah, it looks like Garrett.
Garrett. And what's the
He's
location?
a bearded man in his prime. That's how it describes him.
That's horrendous.
Hold on.
A bearded man in his prime.
So you mean like
You also have to keep in mind that everybody here is like fucking bundled up in cold weather clothing, so.
Yeah.
What is the location that he is? What is his last known location?
Kelvin's Cairn. So let me just drag you guys back onto the map because you guys are gonna be going there anyway.
Yay!
Yay!
I
Quest
love the
time.
map.
Oh,
There's
God,
so
that's
many
pretty.
quests.
so bearded man in his prime?
Kelvin's
like
Cairn.
this.
Where is Kelvin's Cairn on the map?
Cornelius is looking for Santa Claus.
Kelvin's Cairn. Holy crap. Okay.
Yeah, that is. There's a lot that goes on, I believe, there.
Before you leave, I do suggest that you guys go to Koenig first. There's a place called Frozen Fire Expeditions there. It's likely the last place anybody would have seen him before he went up the mountain.
Alright, hold on, just jotting these lovely tidbits down. Garrett, man in his prime with a beard. Thank God for the portrait. And we will be heading to Koenig. So with two C's.
What was the shop's name? Frozen Expeditions?
Frozen Fire Expeditions.
Frozen Fire.
Alright. Brennshanda, Bremen, Koenig. And I hate to requisition the dog, but, and I mean, I honestly hate to. He ruined my boot. But I do believe he will assist in procuring your Garrett. So,
If anything, we could come back and get him on the way back from Bremen.
I believe the dog's choice of joining us or not should be his alone, as he is a being.
Well, it seemed like he was pretty adamant on having us join.
It's Garrett.
I know, it's a bad joke.
I like it.
Oh. I didn't pick up on the joke as I expected to see Geralt.
Can
that's
I
why
go-
it was, that's why
okay,
I just
okay.
corrected it.
Got it.
Geralt of Rivia, how are you today? Can I go ahead and ask the dog if he wishes to join us or if he wishes to stay?
It sort of like nods its head as though it wants to go with you.
I'm like,
Ah,
I'm rubbing my temples. Yes, ask the dog how it feels. Yes, that makes total sense.
On contrary, I believe he wishes to come with us.
Oh, joy! So just like my original plan. Off to Brynshanda, then? Oh, do we have somewhere else to go? Please, I have another boot you can tug on, dog.
well, friendo, despite your objections, yes, I must visit the general store before we depart.
To
Is
the
this-
general store we go, then.
As those two are talking and arguing, I'm going to go ahead and tell the dog, please do not chew on the noble one's boot, if you can help it, and that it will
Thank
be
you,
a dangerous
Fendon.
journey.
Thank you, Fendon. Teach the mongrel some manners. These are quality leather boots.
The
Those look
dog
like normal leather
barks
boots.
at you, Fendon, and you get the idea that it will continue to chew on the boots.
I see, my friend. Very well.
So, did it agree not to chew on my boots?
It did agree.
I'm gonna insight
Fantastic.
check that. So do I roll?
Yeah. Make a deception check for me, Fendon.
Right. Second deception it is. I have nothing in deception. Ooh.
You know that he's lying.
Cornelius keeps that knowledge to himself and knows a slight smirk.
All right, now that the dog decided it's well behaved, to the general store we go, and then to Brynchander finally. We have to meet with him.
All right, to the general store.
You got back to the general store, and Jarrett, or Justin, my bad, is there.
All right, I open the door and go in. Cornelius does that. Damn it! I'll get better at that.
Well, you can say you
you're
can
back
talk
again.
in first person.
What do you want this
Now
time?
Well, hello, Justin. I've come for rations. Somehow I didn't notice that I could have starved out there, despite trying to survive the cold. I am
Sure,
not a
how
very
many
good
do you need?
adventurer. 10?
10 rations.
Can you carry that many, my friend?
I should be able to. I'll find out in a moment here.
Alright, 10 rations is gonna pay you back 2 gold pieces.
All right, and Cornelius happily hands over 2 gold pieces.
I too will acquire some rations. The same amount, if you will. Please.
Same price?
Are we stocking up for a long journey? I kind of whispered to people as they're buying things.
I whisper
Well,
back.
Kaer Konig is quite the distance. So, yes. a
In
long
this
journey.
land, you cannot be too unprepared for what may or may not happen.
Wait, Adrian, I'll let you in on a secret. I don't know what I'm preparing for. I'm just
Oh.
preparing.
But we're passing through this town 2 more times, right?
I know. You never know.
Oh. 10 rations for me too, I think.
All the rations to go around. 2 gold pieces per 10.
I shall as well take 10, and if you have any mistletoe by chance, I shall take it.
Mistletoe. I don't believe I do have some.
Very well, fair enough. I shall take 10 rations for 2 gold.
Good night, Brad. I hope you had a good day, and I hope you have a good day tomorrow, too. Bye-bye.
So is everybody buying rations except for Jillian then?
Yes.
Let me see if there's anything else I want to buy. Adventure's gear.
Don't worry, this is the last shop we'll see.
There's a good chance of that.
No, there's not.
Shh.
Also, so after everyone's purchased their rations, I asked Justin, Justin, you sold me these cook's utensils yesterday. I don't actually have anything to cook with, though. Do you have ingredients?
I don't, but I'm sure that you could buy some knucklehead trout from the fishes.
Yes, the fishermen that we were going to go save in Bremen. Yes, I do believe they would have knucklehead aplenty once we kill this lake monstrosity, but we need to go to Brynchander first, which means we should be leaving.
Right. Relax, friendo.
You seem very mad. Fondue?
Frando, I had a dog ruin my pristine leather boots, and we have been distracted for far too long. It makes me a little anxious knowing men are dying. When we can do something about it, and yet we're here procuring rations. Fine, good, well, let's be off.
So, anyways, Justin, I'm talking like basic ingredients like flour and salt, sugar.
Oh my lord.
One slight annoyance, it is Justin, not Justin.
My apologies, Justin.
Now that we've got that out of the way, I can sell you some salt and some flour.
I would love to have some.
I too shall purchase some.
Good, we can go assist the fishermen that are dying with flour and salt. I'm sure breaded knucklehead trout will cure them of all of their woes.
You know, I
can
don't
sell you
think
1
that
pound
will.
of salt for 5 copper pieces. I'm not sure that you two are traveling together, yes?
Yes.
I don't believe that you'll need more than 1 pound.
Very well. How much for the flour? I shall purchase it instead. And I shall give it and share it between us, Cornelius.
Agreed.
1 pound of flour will cost you 2 copper pieces.
I'm gonna go ahead and slap a single silver piece down.
I've got the salt. Fendon has the flour. Great.
Shit. I just forgot how much silver I had.
Right, so you give him the silver piece and he gives you back 8 copper pieces.
8 copper pieces, so 10.
That is quite an interesting face on the map.
Do you also by chance sell bear traps?
I do.
How much would it be to procure one?
I believe a
I
bear
think
trap
I can
is
drag
25
salt.
gold.
I'm pretty sure I put my character sheet on the map.
If it's a hunting trap, 5 gold pieces per 25 pounds.
Yeah, I have a hunting trap. I can teach you.
Do you say
Yeah,
this
it's
to
5
me?
gold pieces.
I'll go ahead and purchase a hunting trap as well.
You can carry a lot, mister.
Being descendant from a giant has its perks and its negatives.
Like hitting your head in doorways?
Yes, but the same could also be said of Goliaths that reside within this area.
Yeah. Do you have trouble like that in other places?
In my homeland, within the forest, I did not.
And I'll say this as I'm starting to walk out and kind of listen, but kind of not. Obviously trying to get a move on.
Any sort of settlement that I've been to, yes. How much does a pound of salt and flour weigh?
A pound?
Oh no.
You know what? Never.
What weighs more, a pound of salt or a pound of flour?
I can't believe I just asked that. I'm assuming the flour is 1 pound as well, correct?
It is a pound of flour, so yeah.
I just wanted to make sure, you know.
It's been a rough day.
I'm gonna go ahead and walk that comment. Thank you, Justin. I shall now take my leave.
Yeah, we're all leaving.
After that, we're gone. We're gone. I'm out the door. Oh shit.
I also clicked and dragged my character sheet onto the map on accident because I was trying to click and drag salt, which I didn't find. I kind of just no-brained it. I don't want to delete it though because I don't know what kind of ramifications it has.
Try double click if it's a minimized window.
No.
Try double.
I don't want to do anything. We already had a mishap.
I already
with that.
deleted it.
Deleting
Thank
your
you.
token does nothing.
Yeah, deleting the
I don't
token on
know
the
that.
map does nothing. Deleting the token on the character sheet does something. But he didn't delete the character. He didn't delete a token on the character sheet. He deleted the character.
I
sheet, so-
completely deleted the character sheet, and I still feel terrible. Don't worry,
Shit
there will be.
happens.
I know shit happens, but still, it makes me feel awful.
Well, we're on the road.
Yes, we are.
I guess as we're
Fuck out of here.
yeah, when we start walking on the road, without looking at anyone, because I'm assuming I'm leading the way. I'm just gonna say, so when did you find out?
Well, a few people mentioned I don't know if Justin was the first. I mean, there were a lot of people. I mean, a lot. I mean, you're local. Locals talk. It's a small thing, the 10 towns.
I look back and forth between the two. What's happening?
Oh. Well, that is
You
for
seem
Julian to
mad.
say. It is not me. Oh, no. Now that on the road, I am... Oh, you're not talking about me. Sorry.
Oh, both of
Uh,
you seem mad.
Well,
Are
I
you
was
guys gonna-
frustrated that we weren't going. So now we're going, so I'm not mad. I'm a little... miffed, I believe is the proper adjective for myself. I cannot speak for Julian.
I have no idea what that means.
Miffed, to be agitated.
Why didn't you just say that?
I'm helping Fendon forage.
Because miffed is more elegant, I think.
Oh.
I think.
Oh.
Make a survival check
roll
with advantage for
survival.
me.
Do you guys need help? I've been around here for a long time.
On this path, you don't necessarily find anything. You do find like a white rabbit
Can I
just
speak?
trudging through the snow,
Can I
and
speak
you
to
also
the
spot a
rabbit?
moose off in the distance.
Can you speak to the rabbit boy? Alright.
So I'm going to carefully approach the rabbit. Does it hop away from me as I approach it?
Are you talking to it as you approach it, or are you just approaching it?
I am talking to it as I approach to it.
What
May
are
I
you
speak?
saying as you approach
May I?
it?
May I speak to you, friend?
It kind of sits there, it perks up, and then it like tilts its head.
I'm
loading
going
a
to
bolt
go-
in my crossbow.
God damn it! I'm gonna go ahead and kneel down and ask if it has seen any wolves or anything similar to wolves in the area.
It shakes its head and like hops twice, and you can tell that it's saying no.
Thank you. And then I'm gonna go ahead and stand up and rejoin the party.
So as Fendon is walking away, I'm gonna shoot a bolt at the rabbit.
God damn it!
Okay.
Not everyone could be druids.
Gotta
Wait,
get
shit, I
food
have a
somehow.
short bow. Retcon.
Ah,
Knock an
perfect.
arrow in my short bow.
Yeah, go ahead.
My poor rabbit.
Oh.
No.
Should I put my sneak modifier
Yeah,
on it?
that hits, and it pierces it, and it's dead.
I'm gonna go get my skewered rabbit.
Do I notice this as I walk away?
As you're walking away, you see like an arrow fly past you, and then you hear a little eep as it hits the rabbit.
I'm going to go ahead and turn around, march straight up to Cornelius, and pick him up by the throat. And ask him why he did that.
Can I try and dodge the command grab?
Well, it's a grapple, so he needs to make a check for it.
Oh, what do you want me to roll?
You have to make an attack roll. Unarmed, so I don't know if you're proficient in unarmed attacks or not.
Unarmored attack. Where would I even find that?
Or actually, wait. I think it's just a strength. Yeah, go ahead and make a strength check.
Just strength.
For the quick reference, grapple. You can use an attack action to make a special melee attack, a grapple. If you
Oh,
are
it is a
able
melee
to
attack
make
then.
the target of your grapple must be no blah blah blah. Using at least one free hand, you try to seize the target by making a grapple check, strength athletics check, contested by the target's strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics check.
That's exactly what happened right there.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No! I don't think anything is fit better.
So go ahead and make an athletics check or acrobatics, whichever one you're better at, Cornelius.
Flock!
Yeah, you grab him by the throat.
When the -1 strength check beats the +5 acrobatics check.
What?
The Lorax at the trees is gonna cap your ass in the knees.
Why are you fighting?
So
And
he
in
asked me
Cornelius.
why I did that, and I'm.
Fendon Cornelius, please, can we talk about this? The rabbit is already dead. It must be treated with respect. We must cook it and eat it.
And upon him saying that, I'm gonna loosen my grip slightly.
That said, Cornelius, I do believe we should have some sort of agreement with Fendon. He is partial to animals. Maybe a little bit of conversation before knocking an arrow and killing a bloody animal.
Isn't that what they're there for? To be part of the food chain?
Yes, but a conversation would have prevented your throat from being grasped. Oh, not your throat, but his throat.
No, I'm role playing, dear. I'm fine.
Cornelius, I believe better of you. There was no reason, as you saw. I was just speaking to the rabbit to ask if there was dangers.
Reason.
And
Gave us what information it had, and I have to learn how to use these cooking tools.
and that is exactly why we bought things to cook with.
Yes,
And
I can make bread, and bread, and bread.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and strengthen my grip slightly, so it can't speak. Next time, we shall have it sanctioned. And then I'm
Yes,
gonna let him go and
sanctioned.
throw him back.
What? Curiosity, Fendon, sanctioned? Is there some sort of court that you have in your pocket?
I do not believe in the murder of animals outright.
I'm
we
getting
were
that impression.
If we were starving, on the other hand, I would have no objection. But even still,
You're strange.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to let this go to waste. Sadly.
All right,
I'm
well,
gonna
let
go,
us-
I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the rabbit.
All right, lest we want to be strangled by Fendon, everyone, we're going to have a nice sensitive conversation about the killing of animals whenever we have the desire to burn Shander. And Jillian, to answer your question, I don't care. I'm not here for the Frost Maiden. I'm not here for any of that drivel that I spout in the inn. I unfortunately don't feel comfortable telling the full story. But whether or not your Frost Maiden affliction is something evil or not is not my concern. I'm here to help the people of the 10 towns and then be gone from here. That is all.
What's a Frost Maiden affliction?
Damned if I know. Ask the locals. Something about a kiss? I don't know. Seems actually rather useful, but they seem to think of it as a pejorative.
So
Uh-huh.
you're telling me that what you said in the inn before, you don't really intend on attacking and killing the Frost Maiden then?
Look at me, Jillian. Do you think I'm... And then as I'm about to say it, I sort of like, yes, sir. Yes, I suppose I would look arrogant enough to think I could challenge you, God. Never mind. It was nonsense. It was nonsense to get a false cause. I am not here for reasons that I can express publicly. But no, the Frost Maiden is no concern of mine.
Good.
I thought she was everyone's concern.
I don't live here. And I
But
don't
you're here
necessarily
now.
believe that there are little shadows in the sky making it cold. I don't know what to believe. I don't have the facts in front of me, and so I won't jump to conclusions. We must be off to Bryn Shander to pay proper respects to Jay and also acquire the gold from Finn.
As you're saying this, actually, you guys watch as all the clouds that are in the sky seem to depart, making a giant circle of stars in the sky, and then you watch as a beautiful aurora sprawls across the sky. And it lasts for about 10 minutes before the clouds are then pulled back into the center.
Well, that is curious.
I was just about to say something about that, but yes, that's the Frost Maiden's doing. She does that to somehow keep the sun away.
So, the Frost Maiden is indeed responsible for the rhyme, then.
Yes, but that doesn't mean she's evil.
No, never said that. But the cold is doing quite a job. First, to Bryn Shander to lay Jay to rest, then the gold. Jillian, if you care to explain the Frost Maiden's intentions further, you are welcome to. I am indeed curious. But I am cold as fucking hell out in this damned place, so if we could please be on to Bryn Shander finally.
Well,
Yeah,
And
we'll
are you
discuss this
letting
we will.
somebody help you carry the body now, or no?
So I'm gonna go ahead and angrily walk up to Jillian as Fernando is having the conversation. Do you require help carrying your friend's body? As I must get away from Cornelius for now, as anger has provoked the worst in me.
I suppose you can carry her, but if you damage her body at all, you'll pay for it.
Then tell me how you wish me to carry her.
Just as I am,
How are you carrying her exactly?
Princess Carrie. Do you
Okay.
know what that is?
Is it where two arms are stretched out and the body is like ass in between the arms?
Like one back supporting the legs. I mean, one arm is like supporting the legs are hanging over one arm, the other arm is on the back. Supporting the
Okay,
body.
that way. Okay. Yes, I believe I can do that. How much does Jay weigh?
260 pounds with her gear.
Shit.
Holy shit.
Okay, body of Jay.
That's so morbid. I didn't realize
So
this was
I am definitely over carrying capacity, but I will carry the load.
And if you're interested, I can tell you about the Frost Maiden after we've paid our respects.
I agree. Jay's funeral is of the utmost priority.
I have something for her once we reach the site.
I figured it would go without saying, Julian, and I know it offers zero compensation, but Jay's share of Lynn's reward is obviously to go to you.
I just give a nod.
Let's be on.
Give me just a second, because I rolled a random encounter and I have to set this up.
Oh boy.
Alright, so I guess several hours pass by as we're traveling, correct?
Well, you guys are, like, stopped here talking, and then there's gonna be a random encounter, so I need to set up this map really quick.
Okay, never mind then.
Enjoy.
I told my wife I would be done at 7.
Is that 10 minutes?
Yeah, that's in 10 minutes.
Oh boy. Is it gonna be a quick random encounter?
Nope.
Right.
It should be fairly quick.
It won't
I
be 10.
think
It
that-
won't be 10 minutes though, so I say we end it here.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna be 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm off Thursday this week, although this coming week, I think. Hold on, let me check. So we can play one a little sooner.
You're off on Thursday, you said?
This week. Let me just double check that. Yes. Thursday the 8th I'm off. I don't mind actually a double session, but like Thursday and then Saturday, but that's me being a fucking hungry hippo, so.
I'm pulling a triple double.
Pulling a triple double, damn it. Also my wife is on vacation on the 8th, so I literally will have the whole day.
Ooh.
Long session. Well,
Super
long
nerd.
session.
Yeah.
Because I still have work the next day, so I can't go forever. But
Yeah.
Same.
The fuck is that?
Who knows?
That looks